Going live in 3 minutes. Ignore that part. You know what? I don't even trust this countdown. I think it's going to make it crash. For those of you who don't know, we have been crashing like crazy. So we're starting in a minute and a half, 90 seconds. 90 seconds till launch. Of course, without my countdown, you can't really see that. But we're playing in the weekly bullet. We're not going to wait. Let's get going. Welcome everyone to episode 14 of ChessWhiz TV. Today we are playing in the weekly bullet tournament, and we may follow that up with a weekly blitz, so we'll see how things go. I've been having a lot of trouble with hardware as usual, so hoping we don't go down, but if we do, sit tight because we'll be back as quick as we can. Let's jump over to the tournament. Starting in a few seconds. You guys can see this, you can hear me. All right, so I spent the last hour trying to get things set up. Where's the join tournament button? There it is, join. I've got a headset that I was going to use. Tournament is starting. So do we have sound? Yes, we have sound here as well. And I've been working on that for the last hour. Could not get it to work. Let's play some chess while I explain. So computer, basically, I start streaming and crash after 10 seconds. That's not acceptable for an hour-long cast or even more. I think at most you can crash like once, right? Beyond that, and it's not quite professional grade. Only joking on that, really crashes aren't okay. So I've got to do something about this setup. I spent yesterday working on a Windows machine trying to get it set up with some different software entirely. And this comes as a surprise to me, but it was crashy as well. Shocker. So I've been fighting crashes. So I'm running a Mac here. I'm back to the old equipment, hoping it will just be reliable one more time until we can get switched off to something else. And then the Windows machine with completely different software was also crashing. Plus the webcam over there, it kind of gave me well, it was kind of black and white except for my face, which was hot pink. So I didn't really like that view, and I could not get the camera hues changed. So definitely been having some trouble there, but at least we're alive and alive, if you know what I mean. 20 seconds left in this game 1 against Adil. Hard to find a way to improve the position, but I found a way to make it worse, and that is lose the d-pawn. He's thinking about how to take it. He does not take it. Bad move, dude. You should have taken it. And now he takes it. Clever tactic, except it was a lot better before. What's going to happen? Trade queens? Nope, take that pawn. I can take pawns too. He doesn't take it. And we're down to an endgame with 12 seconds left. Check and back. The reason I check is it uses his clock. He has no time for anything else. Boom, boom, pre-moves. Oh, he's going to run out of time. He doesn't know how to pre-move. Like the pros. Now he's trapped his rook in. Check. 2 seconds left, pal. Check. Bet you didn't like that. Oh, oh. And he found a perpetual. No. Oh, he doesn't want it. He'll regret that. No! Oh, I was in check too long. And I spent all my time getting out of check. And he beat me even though I was up several seconds just before the end. So I've lost the first game. Something new in the tournament that's been added to the website is this leaderboard over here on the left. So we can see exactly how badly we're doing. That's always nice. Why did I trade pawns here? Because I wasn't paying attention. Do not trade your C pawn for the D pawn there when you're playing this French opening. Instead, you should leave those 2 pawns there to maintain pressure. Let's see what I can do. I guess I can... Wow, I can do nothing. So, a little discombobulated as usual. I'm often not playing my best as soon as we go live, and this is no different. Trade bishops. Okay, what's going to happen next? Nothing. No pieces can come out. This chess is a little fast. You know, how about we start with like a 3-minute game, and then after a couple 3-minute games, then we can have our tournament. Maybe I need to start going live a few minutes early and just, you know, play a warm-up game or two, because this is just extreme. I'm down 10 seconds already. Okay, center is blowing open. E5, right here, pawn E5. Can I do that? Yes. I like my position here, even though my king's a little exposed because of the strong center, and my rooks are coming active on the king side. I don't think H4 was a good idea for him. I've got this pawn now. Oh, that would drop my center. Gotta hold that with the queen. Oh, he's still gonna go for it. You can't do that. Bad move. Picked up a piece. Bishop for a pawn. And let's trade. Trade, trade, trade. Yes. Okay. Doing good now. Up here. And check, I guess. I shouldn't really check. It's just out of habit. You know, you see a check, you give a check, that kind of thing. Oh, but he's going to let me win. Thank you for trading down for me. Guess I'll make another queen over here. Boom. And now... Oh, I can't catch the guy. This is annoying. There we go, checkmate. 1 win. How we looking? Takada is in the house with 2 wins in a row. This is the guy who took us down a couple of tournaments ago. And he is not to be trifled with. You can see a flame next to his name. He should have 3 flames because he basically can run 3 combos, 3 streaks at the same time. That's how good he is. He wins with his left hand. He wins with his right hand. Don't play E5. No, 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 no. Why did I do this? Because I wasn't paying attention. That's generally the reason for why I do things in 1-minute games. And a trade, and we're back to a reasonable position. Thank you. If he had played E5 right there, kicking my knight, I would feel very foolish because there's no good square for it. It would have to actually, I think it has to run back to G8, which is no good at all. Develop your piece only to undevelop it. And then I'd be quite a bit behind in time. Bringing out my pieces. Not the clock time, I mean the game time. I don't mean you telephone. So I have this annoying telephone, and it's always listening. Do you hear that? Yes, you do. So let me tell you about my telephone. It's this fancy old phone. Well, 6 months or so old. Hey, a free queen. I should have taken that queen. From Google, who bought Motorola and then sold it again. I believe they've sold it by now, or they are selling it. Excuse me, to Lenovo. So anyway, they bought Motorola, Google did, and they said, let's come out with a new phone. So they came out with a phone. It was called the Moto X, which is now my phone. So the feature is it's always listening. Does that sound good? No matter what you're doing, if the phone's around, it's listening to you. And here's the perk. You just say, okay, Google. And then it's listening to you and it's ready for your command. And you can ask it what time it is. You can ask it how to get somewhere. And of course, it will misunderstand you and frustrate you, and you'll actually pick it up in the end and type in what you were trying to say. But it's great in commercials to show off, you know, the new feature that the phone can do. but it's really obnoxious because it has a lot of false positives. In fact, I've been starting keeping my phone in another room. King there? What are you doing? Check. This does not look normal. Checkmate. No, the knight can take it. Huh. He's trying to find, how do I get out of check? I'm stuck. Yeah. How about here? And a trade. And then here. Oh. Okay. F4 is falling. This is quite a weird attack. Playing a little slowly, but that's what happens when you get such a strange position. So I've been keeping my phone in the other room because if it's nearby when I'm casting, it goes bloop, I'm listening, what do you want to say? But I don't want my phone to be doing that. So you might hear that a few more times here during the cast. If you do, just ignore it and laugh quietly to yourself instead of shaming me with my embarrassing phone. I'll take that with the knight. It's a good thing this player is not paying attention very well because I'm not either. It's making a closer game. Oh, block that checkmate just in time. Good thing my last move was a check. There. Aha! 18 seconds ought to be enough to win, especially when the opponent has resigned. So now we've picked up 3 wins in a row. This is more like it. We're back to facing a deal who took us out in the first game by running us out of time, so we're not going to let that happen again. Let's play the Bogo Indian. I learned the other day how to pronounce this guy's name, the Bogo. His last name starts with Bogo, and then it continues crazily. But I did not remember. I learned it, and then I forgot it. So I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like something Boggle... I'm not going to try. Why is this knight coming down? Boot. I want to play f5. And he does too. Okay. Now I'm not going to because g6 would be a terrible fork. And 35 seconds. Still looking good on the clock. Wow, these knights are pretty hoppy. I like this position. Maybe g6. Nope, he'll come over here. King over. It's just what he did. And then g6. Boot these knights out of the way. All right. Now what happens? This knight can't move. And I guess I'll double up here. I want to improve the position of one of my pieces, but all of my pieces are pretty much frozen in place. So I need to untangle them a bit. I guess there. Now the knight's going to come in here. Oh, I can take that though. Then what should I do to improve? Oh, he's letting me have a few more pieces. Oops, this bishop. I need it. No. Okay, so now it's back to an even game, 6 pawns each, and he's figuring out how to get his bishop in this hole. Fork. Oops. Oh, I guess he took my queen, didn't he? This is going to be pretty bad. Two seconds. Ah, this guy wins again. Oops. Can't even do one pre-move or you run out of time. And in that case, it was one bad pre-move. An illegal pre-move. So this guy's beat me on time twice. I am not going down again. So my streak is broken. I'm as bad as Bakura 200. It's pretty nice to be able to see the standings here and see how everyone's ahead of me now because I'm 8 points, but I don't have the flame. So in these tournaments, you need to keep a streak going. You get 2 points for a win, but if you've got a streak going, you get 4 points. It's double the points. And that's why these guys are up here with 16. This guy has 4 wins, and I have 3 wins. So that's pretty close, except he's kept a streak going the whole time. Actually, he has 5 wins, so. See if I can trap his queen. Oh, not quite. Almost. 1 square away from trapping it. I guess I could keep trying to trap it. Here we go! Ba-ba-ba-bum-bum-bum! And I don't have the chat open, which is terribly reducing the quality of the stream. We don't get to heckle the hecklers. So I'm going to try to open that up, which is pretty hard to do during a 1-minute game. So for you guys who are tuning in from Lichess, on the Lichess TV page, the chat is not visible on the page, so you can't join in and heckle me. However, the chat still exists, so I'll show you how to get to it. No, no! Oh, what a clever attack. Clever. I couldn't recapture or I would lose my king to a checkmate down there. Oops, I guess that wasn't a very good pre-move. I'll give up. Not going to go back to the tournament room because we need to get over to the chat. Tournament's a little bit of a rocky start here, but all is not lost. Okay, so there's the chat. Let's pull it off screen for a bit. See if we missed anything. Goodbye advertisement. Back to tournament. So there's not a lot of viewers in chat, even though there's a lot of viewers watching. And that's because you guys don't have the chat open. So here's what you need to do. Takeda himself. And he's probably streaming, right? That's why he's delayed. Oh no, he's probably getting a drink of water, which is what I need to do. But chess is too important. Oh, he castles kingside. What is this madness? Rooks to the middle. So here's what you have to do to get to chat. You have to use your computer to get there. It's a useful tool, but it can be unreliable at times. Oh, I forgot, this guy's really fast, and I need to be the same. Oh no, I lose my pawn. Oh good, he didn't go for that pawn. Instead, this is kind of a cool position. Bearing down on that backward pinned guy back there. Guess I'll trade with you. Add some... Oh, of course that's going to happen to me, right? Of course. I lose a bishop for nothing. And it's a discovered check, and I lose my queen. Thank you, Lichess, for highlighting my king while my queen is under attack. I guess I can't blame you for that. I give up. Let's read my mail. Game and live. Nope. Funny thing about English, live and live are pronounced the same. So I asked Thibaut, the creator of Lichess, I asked him, how do you pronounce Lichess? What did he say? It's like live chess. Just pronounce it like the word live. Oh, thanks, because that's the same as the word live. Turns out he actually says lie. Lie chess, as in I'm not telling the truth. Which is interesting because he's from France, where they wouldn't go I in any kind of word. They would go E, right? Lichess. And you've heard French speakers and European speakers say lichess before. It kind of makes you sound sophisticated. Ah, I play on the lichess. But he says lichess, so I guess I'm going to do that. I think I could make myself sound a lot cooler with lichess, but it's a trade-off. Be cool or be correct. It's one or the other. Should I trade? No, I don't want to trade queens. I want to continue to put pressure on your pawns here. Can you even protect? Boom! And now I'll trade, right? Because I'm ahead a pawn. Gotta love trades when you're ahead. Helps to simplify into a winning position. I guess I'll allow a rook trade here. Yeah, bad bishop. He's left with a bishop on the same color square as his center pawn. That's called a bad bishop. We go over bad bishops over and over. Just about every cast we talk about them. The reason is they're so bad, and they're in just about every game, that they are definitely worthy of being talked about. So this extra a-pawn is going to become a queen in about 6 moves. Are you ready? Why not take another free pawn first? Are you set? Now we're ready to go. But we're going to use this pawn. Take it, right? Ah, he can take it. Well, this one will make it farther. Did I say farther? I meant further. Out of time. Good enough. Takeda in the lead with 28. What do I click now? Over here, over there, new window pops up in front. Thank you, new window, for doing that. And we're going to lichess.org because I want to get that 1 off the screen. Did I say lichess? Wow, mispronunciations everywhere. Okay, the 1 is gone. Good work, Chess Whiz. Good job getting that off. So how are we doing in the tournament? We are on the first page of standings, 9th place down there. But if we can win another game, we've got a streak going. And like I said, this is all about the streaks. All about the streaks. It's like a bad window washer. Because a good one will not leave streaks. But I would like to leave a streak in my trail. Funny position here. All the center pawns are gone. Discovered attack on your queen. Boom! Your queen's attacked. Oh, he didn't notice it. That was cool. It's like you can move your bishop anywhere you want, and no matter where it goes, here's Eins. Your queen will be under attack. So I could do something really crazy with it, like take a pawn guarded by a pawn. That's exactly what I did. Takeda has only taken 1 loss in here, whereas Karimov has lost nothing. And he follows me. That's cool. So they're tied at 28 because Takeda's played a lot more games. Then we've got Anya 64, 94, much lower, much fewer points. But not as few as I have. I'm planning to pull ahead here. See, I see these 2 green numbers? That means I'm about to start a streak. In fact, I even have the flame. So let's find an opponent here. Only 4 people have given up. This is a pretty big tournament. By the way, guys, it's fixed. 1-1-3. There is no second place. That's the way it should be. When 2 people tie for first, one of them is, excuse me, taking up the spot for second. So that's just the way it's going to go. So I'm pretty pleased that the stream has lasted even this long without crashing. That's nice. For those of you just joining, I have been having terrible, terrible crashing problems. Reminiscent of the terrible, terrible damage that Dustin Browder serves out. Nobody knows about that. But I do, so I can talk about it, right? Talk about what you know. For example, this chess game, actually I don't know anything about chess. Let's talk about Go. So the pawn nuki is a very strong shape. Now no one knows what I'm talking about but me. Any Go players out there, shout out to the Go players. Wow, they're not shouting. I guess that's what happens when you're in an empty room talking to yourself. You don't get a lot of shout outs. Are you trying to checkmate me down here? I need my king. Let's boot that out of there. Maybe I'm just creating weaknesses, though. What can I do if I just keep pushing pawns in front of my king? That doesn't sound harmful, does it? Sounds very safe. Everything's traded off. That was convenient. Oh, I lost my bishop. Who needs bishops? Who needs bishops? Not me. Not me. Actually, I've changed my mind. Can I have that bishop back, please? Push that. Oh, and I have 13 seconds also. He's going to take me. Oh no, I'm in checkmate. Oh, that's a bad outcome. When you're playing chess, you do not want to be in checkmate. You should try to find an alternative. And now my sequence, my streak is over. We're fighting Karimov, the leader of the tournament. You can see he's jumped ahead with 36 points. Let's give him 38. Bishop should not go there because the queen is very deadly. She jumps across to g5 in this opening. It's not a safe thing. It's also not safe to play really slowly like I'm doing. Push. That was clever. See, this opening is well studied. The problem is, not by me. And so now my queen is forced into Nowheresville. But never fear. Things will get so bad that this seems like a great position. Boom! Watch out, my queen is roaming. That's all my queen is doing, but roaming's better than nothing, right? It does kind of increase your cell phone bill, but not anymore. It used to be you would accidentally make a roaming call, and then you would get charged a huge amount. But these days, roaming's pretty much included, so roaming is okay. A-okay. Not sure what the A stands for. Come on, get checkmated. This is pretty fun, going back and forth and back and forth. I am not quite, excuse me, checkmating him. Not quite. Should I just pin that? No, I can't do anything that way. 10 seconds left. Will he check me? Will he get checkmated? Will I take a free pawn? at the expense of my queen. Look at that brilliant trapping of the queen. This is so cool. There's only one thing that could make it cooler. If I was black, that would make it about 3 times cooler. We're playing Mr. Geronimo, who's a domino player, 1500. Clearly he has never played chess before because that's the starting rating on this website. Kind of a transposition of moves there for our Sicilian viewers. We have learned in the chat, first of all, there's no standard pronunciation. You may say lichess if you wish. That's the mark of a good product. No one can pronounce it because everyone makes up their own pronunciation and their own idea about how it should be pronounced. And then they feel personally connected to it. It's like, oh, that's my pronunciation. That's my product, right? That's my website, lichess. I love playing there. Uh-oh, I'm going to get pawn forked. Uh-oh. Guess I better pin that and win it. Oh, I'm going to get pawn forked anyway? Over here. Can't take my knight, see? Because you're pinned, and then my knight's going to jump here. Unless he unpins himself and attacks my bishop at the same time. Oh, good. Much better. Funny sequence of moves, but I think I'm okay. Plus, a lot of pieces have come off the board, which is good because my king was getting a little cold in the center. This is a great position for me. He only has 5 pawns, whereas I have way more pawns, namely 6. Actually, he just threw away another pawn. And a skewer, is that all you can do? A skewer to win a rook? I guess that is pretty good. Whoops. Oh, this is resignable, except I don't want to lose to a 1500. So I'm going to try not to by making a queen. I'll make it with this pawn. Too bad I'm out of time. Out of time. And he had 0.7, so I could have won that. I need to play a little bit faster and talk a little bit more. I need to convince my opponents to tune into the stream and get confused. Boom. Wow, this is a confusing opening indeed. What is this called? Well, it's a little bit like the Benoni, which, by the way, ought to have another pronunciation. It should be like the Benoni. And then everyone would feel personally connected to it, if you know what I mean. So, we gotta go. How are we doing in this tournament? Bad. How are the viewers feeling? Can't hear them. At least they're there. We know you're out there. So, new information from the chat. They say that chess is more intense than Go. Well, if you're talking about speed games, I guess that's true, because Go, for those of you who don't know, is another board game, a very complex and deep and wonderfully strategic board game. But it's not really played at the time control of 1 minute, like chess is. In fact, it's considered rude, get this, it's considered rude to run your opponent out of time and win on time in Go. Talk about a horrible game. Boring, right? Because that's like my one weapon in chess, is to be like, oh, you're out of time, I win. That's all I do to win. So I switch over to the Go game, and I'm like, well, I guess you're winning by about 50 points, because that's the way you score in Go. You just count up the points. I'll trade first, so I don't die with my rook. And it's a terrible result, kind of like this checkmate. This is a terrible result too. As you can see, this is not a legal move, and I cannot capture that rook. So this is my only move, and I lose again. Well, losing's not everything. Losing is nothing. We can see Karimov taking Takeda out. That's the one nice thing about this tournament. Takeda is not winning it. And it's not Takeda for all you people who aren't Japanese. It's Takeda. So what was I saying? Go is a strategic game, but it's not played quickly. For those of you who enjoy chess, which should be everyone watching, because why wouldn't you watch someone like this lose chess? If you enjoy it, you would. You should check out the game of Go. It's played on a giant board, and it's a really slow game. Your typical Go game, even a fast one, is going to take at least 15 minutes if you're blitzing it out. And I'm talking fast, right? Whereas chess, a 15-minute game, you could play, I mean, that's reasonable. On the internet, you definitely play a faster game in 15 minutes. So Go is a slower game. But there's a lot to it. The rules are nice and simple. You don't have to memorize, well, how does the bishop move? Well, how does the knight move? You know, you don't have to learn all that stuff because there's just one piece, and it doesn't move. Making myself laugh with how awesome Go is. One piece and it doesn't move, I'd buy that. For sure. Rook d8, I'll trade, and then oh, yeah, my rook's pretty powerful now. Now I've got a passed pawn. Oh, I didn't see that was check. Looking ahead is not my forte. I prefer blindly moving my pieces. I did look ahead half a move to see who would capture that. If I move there, come on, nasal passages, clear thyselves. I have to give up my rook for his, and then mine does not promote. This is not my day. My pawn did not make it to the finish line. His pawn ate my rook. Not fair. I would like to file a formal complaint. My strategy is to run him out of time. Oh, this is going to work. Out of time! Yep, that's my weapon, so I can't play Go. So there's another game being mentioned in chat called Arima, and it's also difficult to pronounce, and it's difficult for computers to play. You should check that game out as well. I learned about it from, well, it was actually, whoops, there goes my bishop, made popular by an XKCD comic strip. Now, if you haven't heard of XKCD, you definitely need to look that up. Just search the interwebs for X, K, C, D, and whether you're a geek or you wish you were one, you will enjoy that comic strip. It's a web comic. So anyway, I learned about Arima on there, as a lot of people did, because it has a lot of readers, because it should, because it's awesome. So go check it out. And in Arima, everything moves really slowly, but you get to make 4 moves every turn. So that kind of makes up for that. And it's a weird, weird game. If you think you're good at board games, think again, because it's not really like other board games. So you can't really carry over your skill. I found myself really confused about what to do when I was playing it. It's like, I know in chess, I want to improve the position of my pieces. But in this game, my pieces are just kind of floating around, and I don't know what positions are good and what aren't. For example, when his knight captures my pawn here, it will attack my king and my rook. That's an improvement. When I move my knight, he can capture this pawn. I can understand that. And Mr. Animo is beating me. I can understand that. Whereas in Arima, it's like, okay, there went my horse. It's actually called that. Talk about dumb. There went my camel. I am not joking. They actually named the pieces after animals. There went my rabbit. You're going to have to play it to believe me, but there is actually a rabbit in this game. Oh, checkmate. Oh. So how am I doing? I am still on the screen, number 12, with a lot of losses. So what would you prefer? Better chess or better talking? Yeah, too bad. You're not getting better chess, so it's going to have to be the talking. Or no talking at all. That would not be an improvement. Maybe I should take a poll. Speedy chess. Trade. That was high quality. I did not lose my piece there. Fewer blunders equals better chess. I'm thrilled that nothing has crashed yet, considering how volatile everything was before the stream started. For those of you viewing for the first time, this is ChessWhiz TV. We cast 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, at right now, which is 3 p.m. GMT. And the chess, yes, the chess is always this bad, so if you like bad chess, this is the place to be. Ah, you got a check on me, and that's all. That's all you checked. Just keep moving my king. Oh, it's a checkmate. Man. Well. I'm going to have to distract you guys with some juggling or something. Like, whoa, he's juggling 3 balls. That's so amazing that I've forgotten about all those losses. I should get points for losing streaks. If you take a look at my record, you will see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I should get like a bonus 10 for that or something. It's another Bogo Indian. Oops, wrong pawn. No problem. My positions are about the same no matter what I move. as long as I move quickly. What kind of position is this? A bad one. Pawns fighting each other. Fighting, fighting, fighting. We got some what's the word when people feel bad for you? Sympathy. That's the word. We got some sympathy in the chat. Lamerson is saying, oh, it's not your day. Feel better next time. I actually have a boss who says feel better. It's not like, oh, you're feeling sick, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, you're feeling sick, you must obey me and feel better. He's a little bossy. Actually, he's not, but feel better seems a little, I like it. I like it. It's like you're in control, so start feeling better. It works, and when he says it, I do it. So I am going to feel better as soon as I win this chess game, which is coming right up because I'm ahead the exchange and I've skewered some knights. Boom! Goodbye, knight. Boom! Let's turn down the sound a little bit because I have time for that. Extra rook ought to be enough to win. Pick up this pawn over here. Defend that pawn over there. Take that pawn over there. King out a little bit. King out a little more. Kick that pawn. Kick that rook. Start queening. Oh, lose one rook. Oh, he didn't take it because it's guarded, right? I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't get that pawn through. Let's go get a different pawn through. This is so difficult. Okay, here goes one pawn. Boom. Now let's get another one going. And he's going to resign. Good game. Good game. That is a victory for the cheese. And see, look at those zeros on there. That if you saw a glance at that, you would want to avert your eyes. That is bad. Yes, I've unlocked a new achievement. Thank you, Lamerson. Achievement unlocked. Lose 1,000 rating points in consecutive games. You know, there should be a leaderboard for that. And then when I go on stream, I would score it. Because when I'm on stream, I play a little worse. Guys who don't believe that I could be this bad, I play a little worse than when I'm not distracting my brain with speech. Just a little worse, though. So, nothing serious, if you know what I mean. Nothing serious. There's a hole right there. Pile some pieces in. The thing I like about holes is I lose a pawn when I take them. Don't take me. Don't take me. I shouldn't have moved there. Don't take me. No. Okay, so it's bishop in. Oh, he threw away a piece. Much better. And I'm forking another one. Good outcome. Very good, Bukhara 200. Very, very good. So I've ended up with an extra knight. Was that all? Well, that's pretty good considering I was going to be short a knight here. And it changed around to an extra knight. So can we win this game? I think so. This is going to be 2 in a row. This is going to be 2. And then what happens? The streak starts. It's like a foreign concept for me. Unless you're talking about a losing streak. So how can I capitalize on this? This pawn is not going down. Do I need to just change my targets over to this pawn? I think so. Okay, this pawn is now going down. You're going down, pawn. Yep, there you go. This looks safe. Running for oh, I lost that pawn. Check. And there, he's almost out of time. I'll spend a moment to take that rook. I think that's a good investment. Untangle my pieces here. Check. Get this guy going. Boom. Boom. I'm going to beat you to it. Oh, you've checked me. I guess I have to capture you. That's the problem with checks. Sometimes they just have to respond and you wish they didn't notice. Karimov is running away with it. 60 points. Takeda only 50. Wow. This is a notable... Oh, that's not the right move, by the way, guys. For those of you who don't know, e4, e5 is great. Knight f3, yes. f6, no. Here's the problem. Take that pawn. Oh, he knew. Right? You can't recapture, and then you're just down a pawn. So, not so good. If you recapture, the secret move is queen h5 check. After g6, queen takes e5, and things get worse from there. The queen picks up a rook at the corner. So don't use your f-pawn. That's the rule. Actually, this f-file, for both players, because it's the file next to your king, do not use that pawn in the open. Because it's there for a reason. It's guarding your king, and when you move it, you lose it. You lose your king. It's not good. So just don't use it. You're using it by leaving it there. He has not castled. His position is poor. Very poor. How can I attack this guy? Guess I'll bring my other rook in. Is he just going to get trades? I've got a check over here. That looks pretty good. Yeah. 19 seconds. He's a little tangled up. Oh, he has to move away and lose a piece. Another win coming down. This is going to be a winning streak. Oops, there goes a bishop. But I'll pick up a rook. Skewer to the rook. A skewer is where the more valuable piece has to move out of the way. And then the cheaper piece that I guess you'd be willing to lose, but you really don't want to, gets eaten. And that's what just happened there. So let's make a pawn into a queen. Boom. 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 You gonna take me? I'm ready. Okay. Boom. 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 Out of time. Out of time. And the winning streak has commenced. I'm gonna drink some water before I die. So Chess Whiz as a flame, 22 points. That's way down the list, but I've got a flame. That's pretty good. All those zeros, we can just forget about those. Forget, forget, forget. At least I'm not Daniel Chess. Look at this guy has stamina. This guy has endurance. Thank you, Daniel Chess. So here's what you guys should do if you want to join in the conversation. You click on the live Chess Whiz TV because that's the best place to click. Then you have to come down here to open in Ustream TV. You click this link because Tipo hasn't added the website Overlord. It hasn't added the chat to that page. So then chat shows up over here and you can type in here and be like, hi, everyone. And you can hear your own ads. So you can do that. Oh, I'm fighting Takada. I'm 10 seconds down. What was I doing? Something important. I'll catch up, don't worry. Yeah. Okay, I picked up a pawn. Just have to survive this onslaught of pieces. Nope, I lose a piece that way. Guess I'll trade everything. Looking good, looking good. I'm winning, guys. I'm beating Takada. Let's do this. Let's not throw away a piece as we usually do. Come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. There's a royal fork here, but he can't move there. He doesn't want to trade. He wants to run me out of time. Let's do it. Let's beat Takada. Come on, you're going down. You are going down. Need some trash talk here to improve this. A trade. 14 seconds. Pick up a pawn. And an attack. And check. And check. And check. And check. Whew, check. A lot of pre-moves there. Oh wait, what does he have to do? Block it. Great. Now he's checking me. But he's out of time. He's out of time and I am the winner! Takada, take that! I mean, look how good this is. Takada, win, 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 win. This is our match result. Win, 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 win. I took him down in the episode. If you want to see me beat him, go watch episode Takada Takedown. It's named that for a reason. And then he beats me 3 more times. Chess Whiz is the victor again. This is meaningful, guys. This is important. Okay, it's not actually important, but that was pretty epic. I beat Takada. And that's not the last time I'm going to beat him either. Now that I've got his number, I'm going to call him every morning and say, how you doing? Remember that time I beat you? That's not what I've got your number actually means, but I think that'd be pretty cool. If you just call him every day, be like, yep, I've got your number. Literally. Boop. Let's trade. Literally, I've got your number. Yeah. Enough of that. And the chat goes wild. No one is saying anything except for move fast. Thank you for that advice. Someone's throwing away pieces in an attempt to checkmate me. How do I recover? Here. That'll help bring pieces back. And then here. I would love to trade knights, but I don't think he's going to do that. So he's got a pretty good attack bringing rooks over this line. Oh, this is good. Queen trade. Queen trade. Come on. Yeah. Okay. The attack. We survived the attack. He fixed his pawns, but he threw away a piece attacking me, and now we've survived it. So we win. We, Team ChessWiz, is the winner. Just have to finish off one more game by moving fast. Zip, zap, zoop. F4 is my move. Why is that my move? Just trying to trade a few more pieces. Of course, there's not much left on the board anymore. It's kind of barren. Check. I'm gonna. Oh, not much time now. Oh. Ha! Check, and he's out of time. Yes, that's the kind of thing you gotta do. Trade your rook for anything, just move anywhere that checks him. Because then his pre-move, he's like, oh, I'm definitely moving my king here, is illegal. And he runs out of time. That's that. Okay, let's do some throat hydration. While we capture a pawn way off on the side of the board. Why would we do that? Because we can take this middle pawn now. There's a pin. And we can just keep taking things. Followed by castling. I like this position. By the way, guys, he messed up. That's not the way it's supposed to go, and the Queen's Gambit accepted. It's supposed to go somewhat better for him. Also, this is not the way he's supposed to play. He's made another error. By throwing away a piece to go with those pawns he threw away. 34 seconds is plenty of time. I've got 5 pawns to his 5. Things are looking up, guys. Remember when Lamerson said it's not your day? He was showing that sympathy. Sympathy is over. No more sympathy required. Oops, my knight. No, don't take it. Ah, okay, you can bring that sympathy back now. Because that pawn is pinned, and I just lost a knight. So that's too bad. But it could be worse. Could be worse. I could have lost my queen, which is what I'm about to do. That's the problem with queens. You can lose them. Life would be better if there was nothing valuable ever. Ooh, what a pin. Nice. What am I supposed to do? This is such a powerful attack. This pawn is suddenly becoming a queen. Fight back. Just in time, right? 2 rooks on the 7th. They have a nickname. It's called Pigs on the 7th. And that's because they're so good. The 7th rank, by the way, is this one down here. I can't show you because I have 5 seconds. Oops. Oh, he's out of time while he's selecting what piece to promote. By the way, guys, here's what you should do. Click on your name and choose preferences, then scroll down to automatically promote to queen. Always. You need this selected because otherwise you push your pawn. It's like, oh, here's a new menu. What would you like to promote to? Out of time. So definitely check that in your settings. What was I saying? I don't know. You guys are going to have to remind me because the past is lost. Only the future remains. Wow, this is another great position for me. My win streak is just going bananas, which is my favorite fruit for win streaks to go. I would not want to go kiwis with my win streak. But look at this good position. He threw away a lot of pawns, way too many. This is a highly rated player too, 21 whatever. Definitely glad to be taking all his pawns. Guess I shouldn't have taken that. He was able to attack and come right back again. Looking pretty good though. Get that pawn to safety. A checkmate. I'll block it. Another mistake on somebody's part. Someone lost a lot of pieces for a few pieces. Who was that? We'll have to get back to you on that. Queen and rook against rook, rook, and knight. That's an interesting matchup. Pretty good for me, though, because I've got a pawn that's becoming a queen. Here comes my knight. Can it stop that pawn? Interesting position, isn't it? That was weird. He lost his pawn for nothing. 12 seconds now. So we need to move bitty fast. Whoever pre-moves the most wins. Check. Oh. Nope. Whoever makes the worst moves first wins. This should be interesting. Interesting position here, guys. Too bad we don't have time to enjoy it. Of course he's going to check me some more. So I'll just move around. And he's out of time. I had 6 seconds left. So that's another win. Look at that win streak. Win. 7 wins in a row and continuing. Thank you, Lamerson, for turning around my losing streak. Censored. Missed a checkmate, says chat. Yeah, they did miss a checkmate there, but I don't mind. I'm not even going to mention it. Because I think I prefer winning to losing. So when my opponents miss checkmates, that's better for me. Mr. Renamo has beaten me before, but it's not going to happen this time. Look at these center pawns. These are called the hanging pawns, as opposed to hanging pawns, which means they're just out there. Someone's going to take them for free. The hanging pawns is 2 pawns side by side on open lines, on open files. The opponent can hit them. There's no pawns in the way. So that's these, and no friends on either side of the hanging guys. So no pawn here and no pawn here. So it's kind of a complicated definition, but it comes up every now and then, so we need a good name for it. Hanging pawns are strong when they're side by side, but if you have to push one, then they become weak. Because then the one that's in front is doing great, but the one that's behind becomes a target. I trapped his bishop, which is why he threw away everything in an attempt to get it out. And he did not get it out. He traded his bishop for 2 pawns. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Plus a free queen, and my win streak continues. Yes! 7 or 8 in a row. What is that? 8 wins in a row, and we're up to 42 points. I don't think we're going to catch Karimov, but 6th place is definitely better than it could be. We would be down here in 10th or 11th if it had gone differently. In fact, we'd be 0th place if it had gone differently enough. Hello, everyone. Today we have live viewers, 25 live viewers watching as the tournament ticks down. There's 15 seconds left. There's another new feature that's been added to Lilu La Chess, which is you don't start new games when there's no time left. So that's why we're just sitting here watching the timer run down. How do I know that that's a new feature? No one else knows this, right? How did this happen? How did ChessWiz find out the secret feature? Finished! 6th place! Thank you, everyone! Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. 6th place. Let's take a look at that result. Karimov is a little higher rated and scored ahead. Takada's higher rated, scored ahead. Moltke, lower rated, should have beat him. And Aya, about the same. Thought, about the same. So we're all about the same. Actually, I'm 100 points below, but I should be up there 2100 or more because my poor performance today. And then these guys are lower. So we pretty much scored according to rating. But I could have won that tournament. All I had to do was win some of these games. Have these games go like these games, and that would have been it for me. So how do you find out the secret features? Here's what you do. You come down here at the bottom and it says source code. And then you're inside the guts of Lichess. And then, oh, look at that. Thank ChessWiz, and it's spelled wrong. So then you say, what were the latest changes? And you come over here and it's, wow, it's so confusing because it's all computer code. But anyway, if you peer in there enough, you can see what's being changed, and you can find out what new secret features are being added. And it's usually some bug fix. So you don't even want to know. But sometimes it's not. So this is intermission, guys, before we go into the Blitz tournament, because that's right, we are playing 2 tournaments today. The Blitz is 5-minute chess, so we're going to actually get some content and not just speedy moves. But during intermission, what's going to happen? We're going to enjoy Bad Cow following me. Thank you, Bad Cow. And what else is going to happen? I'm going to go refill my water, so I'll be right back because I'm out of water. No crashes. Whoops. Coming back in here to the room of computer. No crashes yet so far in the stream. Doing very well with that. So it's intermission. What do we do to entertain you? I guess I do have to juggle to distract you from all those losses. Let's go to tournaments and make sure we're in the next tournament. The weekly blitz. Starting in 8 minutes. Join. All right. I'll be casting this tournament live. HTTP:// I'm typing with my pinky again, guys. For those of you who saw the last 2 episodes, I just about mutilated my pinky. Ustream.tv. And it's now finally healed after a full week. Good luck, everyone. So, intermission time. Let's share with you some of my amazing abilities. What do we have here? Juggling ball. This isn't going to work because you can see in my closet. So why would you ever watch me juggle when you can see in my closet? It looks like the frame rate is too low, so the ball's going to be like boom, 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 boom. Let's see what you can do. Let's see. I got to show off my cool chest shirt too. Awesome shirt. Okay, here we go. Ha. Okay, how does that look on camera? Oh, it's not too jerky. Okay, so 1 ball over the top. This is called tennis for obvious reasons. How about a half circle? That's interesting. This is called the half shower. The full shower is a little bit different. The full shower would be this. Okay, that's going off screen, so I got to pull it down. Hoo, ha, hoo, ha, hoo, ha. Woo-wee. Oh, is that still on camera? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so then we've got some weird patterns like, well, what can we do here? There's the 441. No one can figure that one out. It has a name entirely consisting of numbers. I'll explain another time why that is. Then there's the box. That one's pretty fun. This is a hard trick, by the way. When it comes to juggling 3 balls, it's one of the harder tricks. One of my favorite tricks is called the machine. It looks like this. 2 in one hand, and then the other one comes along. You see this other hand here? Here we go. Hup, ha, hup, ha, hup, ha. I dropped a ball. Oh, that's unacceptable. Cancel, cut, stop, start over. Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? Look at that. It's love mail. Sometimes you get hate mail. Sometimes you get love mail. Great show. We love you, Chesswiz. And he even spelled my name right. And that is a sign of a fan because that is hard to spell. Most people say it like this. Cheese whiz. First they get the whiz wrong. But that's not the big problem. They put cheese in there because that's what it looks like to your brain. And then some people who really pay attention, like, oh, I'm on a chess website, it's probably chess. And they spell it like this, whiz. And they leave the H out, like I'm a wizard. I'm not a wizard. I'm a whiz. And some people go like this. Thibaut did this to me the other day. He's like, oh, zzz. But that's not right either. Chess whiz. So get it right, or don't say it at all. How are we doing on the tournament? Oh, that's my inbox. Don't look at my inbox. Tournaments. Weekly Blitz joined. 4 minutes left. That means it's time to juggle some more. Okay, so that was 3 balls. Let's crank it up a notch. See if I have 4 here. I do. So 4 balls is simple. Simply 2 balls in this hand and 2 balls in this hand. Put it together. You got 2 in both. Now, if you do them at the same time, it's kind of obvious. It's like, oh, he's just doing 2 in each hand. That's boring. So you stagger it. One's going off like this, and the other one's asynchronously timed. And then it actually looks like you're juggling. But I'm actually just doing 2 in each hand, so this is easy, right? You can do this at home. Actually, if juggling 3 balls is difficulty 2, then juggling 4 balls would be like difficulty 9. It's a lot harder than 3 balls. It's hard, okay? Much harder than 3 balls. But juggling 5 balls, now that would be like difficulty 50 on a scale of 1 to 10, using that same scale. So let's show that off. Gotta come down here on the floor. All right, can you see that? Is that going too high? It's a little choppy. We'll have to make do. 5 juggling balls. Ha! Ha! Oh, I started. That's called a flash, where you throw them all up, and then you catch them all. And now, for real. Oh, they're colliding. I need to get those non-colliding balls that go through each other. That's not okay. Try again. One more time. It's going to look good. It's going to look great. Ha! Woo! Ha! Woo! Ha! Ha! That's 5 balls. Now we're ready for some chess. I'm actually better than that usually, but on camera, everyone does worse. It's well known. Sorry, we're joining a tournament. There's no time for chess. Gotta play chess. And I've got a bunch more fan mail, so let's see what that is. Someone's saying, what a man. What a man. That's a compliment if I've ever heard one. I think it's a compliment. All right, so that was intermission. Now we're ready for tournament number 2, starting in 2 minutes. What are we supposed to do in 2 minutes? I guess we should recite pi. That's an excellent talent of mine. Anyone can recite pi while looking, but it's more difficult to recite pi without looking at pi. Now you're going to have to trust me on this, because I could just pull up pi on one of my 4 monitors here and be like, oh yeah, here comes pi, right? Nope, this is going to be the real deal. 3.14159263849699375294959697. Hope you caught that. That's the first 100 digits. Not going to tell you the rest. It would take all night. Starting in a minute. We got 1 minute left. Whew, I'm tired. I don't have time for all this. Keep drinking water. Oh, I need a minute to catch my breath after that. I mean, pie is a lot of work, right? I mean, you've seen pie eating contests. It's exhausting. More water. The final minute before the Blitz tournament consists of drinking water. Maybe I'll throw in blowing my nose. That would be a great secondary show. We're not going to put blowing my nose on camera. In fact, we're going to mute it. Okay, did we lose any viewers? No, we did. More people signed in. Now we've got 31 people watching. This is a historic moment. Tournament is starting. Because just a few moments ago we had 25. I think 31 is close to the record, but we're going to break the record quite a bit today with a new high peak number of simultaneous viewers. This is simultaneous 32 viewers. Just to give you guys some stats, here we're starting in the 5-minute tournament. Some stats on ChessWhiz TV. When I launched, it was about 3 or 4 people watching simultaneously. And there's another figure that's not quite simultaneous viewers, but it's total unique viewers that sign in. So this is people who are like, oh, it says live ChessWhiz TV. I'll click that. They click it, they see me, they say, what is this madness? And they leave right away. Those viewers are not really simultaneously watching because they all come in at different times. So that figure ends up being much higher. So I'd have 20 people, maybe 30 people watching when we launched, because I advertised this in the forums. Total, unique, but then simultaneous would be 3, 4, 5. And if we hit 6 or 7 simultaneously, we were doing great. Then what happened? I became more awesome, firstly. Well, that kind of goes without saying. Oops, my d-pawn. I can't afford to just lose my d-pawn, because I better protect it. But also, if you enjoy the front page advertisement for ChessWhiz TV, That's right. That kicked up the viewership numbers significantly. So when that thing came on, we had 175 unique viewers on in that one episode. Now, unique does not mean they stuck around. So once again, they took one look at me and they said, I'm not going to waste my day with this. But still, simultaneous viewers was, 18, 20, somewhere in there. It's a lot more. So 5 times more traffic, basically. And things have not gone down since then. So today, we're hitting a new record. We've got 30 people at the same time. We've probably got 200 unique viewers. I can report that later. Actually, I'll post a picture in the team thread. My pawn is pinned and I don't like it. And if I push it, I lose it. So it's no fun. But check out this sequence. I take, opening up bishops attacking. When we trade bishops, then my pawn is unpinned. And I'll be okay. I predict. My pawn is no longer pinned. Boom. So today's setting an all-new record for viewership. Now that really is nothing, because we're basically in the past. Soon enough, it's going to be 2021, and watching this episode is going to be like, wow, he had only 32 people watching at the same time? That's so few. Now he has 2,000 people. Actually, that's not year 2021. It's probably going to take about 2 years. In 2 years, we're going to have 2,000 people, and you, faithful viewers, queen here looks pretty good. I'm going to give you all nothing for watching long ago in 2014. Okay, here's a problem, Thibaut. Fix your website because your standings page is overlapping your spectators. And so how can I tell what rank this person's in? I can't even see his name. Should I trade rooks? This position has much improved since this d-pawn is gone. Balanced everything, but my pieces are much more active. I no longer have huge problems. Knight here looks good. Because I don't like take, and my pawn comes over here. It messes up my pawns. You don't want 2 pawns stacked up like this, called doubled pawns. Instead, you want them side by side like this, called powerful pawns. Actually, that's not a technical term, but it should be. Oh, look, I got the powerful pawns. I started with 8 powerful pawns. So I think I'll move here. That's going to keep the powerful pawns. And neutralize the threat. That's what that does. Goodbye. So 30 viewers is going to seem like so few. I predict that watching this video is going to be like time traveling into the past once we're in the future. It's not a hard prediction to keep. So if I've got a check here, I could take this. Why would you offer a draw to me? That's very rude. Decline. Check, and I could take this, but I would also be opening up my king. Is it safe? Not really, because he's castled on the queen side. So his attack would come down and he would not have a king of his own to worry about. So I'm not going to be taking that. Guess I could bring my other rook into the game. He's also attacking this pawn. I guess I'd better protect this pawn. This has the dual purpose of supporting b4, which could be some kind of pawn storm against his king. A pawn storm is when you just throw your pawns down there, storming at the enemy king. And it's a very popular technique when players have castled on opposite sides of the board. This guy's over here, this guy's over here. Definitely want to pawn storm your opponent. Oh, he's threatening a checkmate. The only way is to block it this way. Queen h2 would have been checkmate. Bum, bum, bum. First game of the tournament. What's he going to do now? Jump down here? I definitely want to trade queens off the board because my king is a little bit less stable than his. Oh, I could force a queen trade with this move, but that would double my pawns. Do I like that? Not very well. I don't like doubling my pawns, but I'm willing to do it. Looks like this is going to be a draw. I'll offer you a draw. Because my position's a little bit worse, and hey, that 1 point is going to be worth something in the tournament. The way to win this tournament is to get wins, but a draw is better than a loss. And I'm not breaking a streak with this draw. Draws do break streaks. But this is the first game of the tournament, so there's no streak to break. Break to streak. 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 Oh, a tactic. A tactic. My pawn is overworked. This is called the overloaded pawn. What if I check him over here? Ha! Oh, didn't do anything, huh? Take, he takes, I take here. He takes my pawn with check. When I move, he takes this pawn, and he's ahead 2 pawns. Not acceptable. What's another way this could go? I could check him here. I like that much more. And then I could pick up his bishop. And then he picks up, oh, I could take him. And then take his bishop. Oh, I love it. This is a great sequence. He didn't see this far ahead in his tactic, and it's cost him. So we're tied positions now, but his rook is not more active. Actually, he comes down to the 7th rank. Maybe he's still a little bit better here. Because if I take, he takes my first c-pawn, then I come down here and he takes my second pawn. It's going to be a rush to promote these pawns. Or I could rook up here. But I don't know about this endgame. I don't like it very much. I'm going to do it. If he trades, I think it's going to be a drawn ending. I could use a trade with only 40 seconds left. I need the game to be simplified. Simplify, simplify. Take my rook, please. I need things to be simpler. His other options to check. Oh, good. Ready to fight. I want to trade off my doubled pawns, which he's not going to allow. He did allow it. All right, so now this is much, much better again. Very, very drawish, but anything can happen in a speed game. Should be a draw, though. We have the same number of pawns, and finally my pawn weakness is gone. Solid gone, to quote Baloo from The Jungle Book, which is, by the way, a great movie. It is a children's movie, but it's also a great movie. The Jungle Book by Disney. It's like from the 70s or 80s. It's old. But it's got some good songs, too. I am definitely embarrassing myself with this. But you guys have heard of the Bare Necessities, right? That's from The Jungle Book. Yeah, it's a good movie. I'll go one space. Oh, I don't want to do that. 2 spaces. Oh, and I'm running short of time, so I got to be careful there. This way. Trade. It's a draw. It's a draw. 16 seconds. I'll offer a draw now, because it's a draw. Come on. Take now. 14 seconds. I blocked you. 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 This is called having the opposition. The opponent cannot get in. He's trying to think of a way to run me out of time. Oops. Do it again. Oh, if I had gone up here, then I would win. No! I was a little too fast. But that's game 1 and it is a draw. So slow start. Look, some people have already won 2 games. They've already taken 4 points and they've got streaks going. So this is not good. In a tournament, you've got to play fast and you've got to win fast. So taking all 10 minutes, that's my 5 minutes plus his 5 minutes, it's not a good way to start the tournament. For those of you just tuning in, you should watch the recording because the first hour of this cast is not to be missed. We played in the Bullet Tournament and we saw a series of losses, a long series of losses. But that's not why you'd watch it. You'd watch it because in between the tournaments you saw an epic display of skill. I'm sure everyone agrees that it was an epic display of skill. If you want to know more, you got to go look for yourself. Trade, push, attack, trade. I don't like the trade, but I need to bring out my pieces, and I couldn't knight here, or it would block off my bishop. Ah, he traded off his bad bishop. But I traded off my bad bishop. So what's left? Kind of another drawish position, but I think I'm going to win this one. There's one wheel, and it's one reason. There's not one wheel. That would be pretty good. I should ride my unicycle on stream. Not today, guys, not today. But someday you'll see my unicycle. Maybe. That'd be pretty good, right? In between chess games, bring my unicycle up here. That'd be pretty good. I won a pawn, so I'm pleased with this position. There's one reason, not one wheel. There's one reason I expect to win, and it's this number right here. 1,399 is too small of a number. If that number were, say, 2,399, then I would not know if I'm going to win. But since it's 1,399, I win. Hands down, hands up, hands over, I win. His knight is pinned now. He moved this pawn, and so it's opened right up to his king. Problem for him, the knight cannot move or he'll be in check. So that means I get to trade knights. I'm happy to do that with my extra pawn. So we got some activity in the chat saying, why is this thing so tall? It looks okay until it blocks the spectators. But you can see everyone, so that's pretty cool. Look at all those guys in 16th place. Just the way it should be. Should I trade now? Yes. I'm ahead of pawn. Let's trade some more. Trade, trade, trade. Goodbye, queens. I've got the open file. This could not be a better ending for me. I guess if I had 3 more queens, it would be better. But it's pretty much perfect. Not only do I have an extra pawn, but this is the only line on the chessboard that's open that anyone can do anything about, and I totally control it. He can't challenge it with either rook. Meanwhile, I get pigs on the 7th. So this is the 7th rank. I didn't get to finish this with you. But this down here is the 7th. That's where all the pawns start out. And when you're the other player, the 7th is down here, where the opponent's pawns start out. That's where you want your rooks. Put your rooks, oh thank you, on the 7th rank after you put them on the open line. The reason is, that's where all the pawns start out. Durr, didn't I already say that? And so the result is that you get some amazing pawns for free. You just get to eat them up. And if you get 2 rooks on the 7th, that's why it's called pigs. It's just so awesome. So check, not now, Google. And you get to take some pawns for free. See that? I just did that. Check, take some pawns. So you just eat up the pawns. Not only that, but you're pinning his king back on the back. Kings are often on the back rank. And so, okay, I guess I'll go catch that pawn. So when you get your rooks to the 7th, his king is pinned back to the back. And that's a very, very nice thing in a lot of positions. In the endgame, you want to fight with your king. End of the game, bring your king out to help fight, capture some pawns, stop some pawns from making queens, all that kind of stuff. So if you're pinned to the back by rooks, it's a real hamper to that strategy. It's a real problem. That's why he came forward here and not backward. So do that. Put your rooks on the 7th. It's like the natural home for rooks. You go first to the open files, and then to the 7th rank. And then get your other rook there, and then you instantly win, just like in this game. He resigns, and I've got a win. So here I am in 8th place because I won too slowly. 3 points behind all these people. But I do not give up. I'm just getting started. Because all these guys had to lose for that to happen. Look at all these losses down here. Lose, 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 lose. 24 people in the tournament. Bonne chance. Bonne chance. Tout. So here's how you pronounce French. You look at the first 2 letters. This is French. Or the first letter, the first consonant sound, right? And this is ch. Everybody knows that. Then you just go eh through your nose. So this is b-ch, like that. That's the way you pronounce French. Is Miss Caro-Kann going to play the Caro-Kann? What a surprise. This is called the Caro-Kann opening. And this is the Panov-Botvinnik attack, named after 2 excellent chess players, Mr. Panov and Mr. Botvinnik. So if this were a French name, this would just be pronounced me. Because you just look at the first consonant and then you go eh, through your nose too, otherwise they're going to know you're not actually from France. It has to be like eh, like a nerd. Whew. So that's your French primer. I don't mind making fun of French. Because you literally just ignore all the letters in order to pronounce French. It makes no sense at all. Okay, isolated d-pawn position. That's not very unisolated. It's very isolated. Oh, sorry, you're hearing that ocean again. Hear that? Yep, you hear it. Sorry, I apologize for that. I spent the last hour before the cast trying to set up my headset. I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm not lying, guys. This is my headset, and I would be looking like this. Hi, I'm in a headset, right? I would be wearing this headset, except I've had such frustration getting it to work. So annoying. Computer just continually crash, 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 crash. I tried a lot of different options. I tried a lot of different settings. I even tried a second computer, and I've had very poor luck. But, God willing, we're going to have a better setup here soon with less crashes, better sound, and all that good stuff. Plus, we're going to have something that I haven't mentioned, which is awesome. You definitely want to tune in for this. We're going to have, guess I should spill the beans right now, but I'll spill them again at the end of the cast. So some people are coming in and out, and you're going to miss the announcement. So I should announce several times. Next Saturday, which is a week from today, we are going to have a special guest on the show. We're going to have Matrix. Not Matrix, but Matrix. So let me show you how awesome this guy is. Most of you already know who I'm talking about because he's that awesome. Actually, here's how we can do it. Easy way to pull it up. You just go players. Got a lot of light chess tabs open here. And then you type mate tricks. That's how you spell it. This guy is coming on the show a week from today. National Master 2593 on Le Chess. This is the guy you want to tune in for. So a week from today, definitely tune in for that. Do not want to miss it. In between there, we're going to be playing some variety of time controls. I'm thinking on Tuesday, we're going to play slower chess with analysis. So we're going to be taking advantage of the computer analysis to improve our chess. And then on Thursday, we're going to play faster chess. Much faster chess. He's sinking in on d5 here. What can we do about that? Yeah, Thursday is going to be a super mad blitz mode. Chess like you've never seen. You think that 1 minute tournament was fast? Think again. It's going to make that thing look like your grandmother's marathon. You have to run slow in a marathon because otherwise you die. Not that I know about running in a marathon. Not that I know. But I hear you have to run slow. Lee. Did I say slow? It should be slowly. My English is impeccable, which means you can't peck it. Yeah, English makes no sense at all. How's Miss Carol Khan doing? Pretty much a perfect position for black, cementing my isolated pawn in to nothingness. Meanwhile, the knights have perfect squares here. So powerful. I cannot kick this one away because the rook pinned this knight on my queen. I would lose this knight. I cannot kick this one away because I have no pawn on this file, no pawn on this file, so his knights are just cemented in. Extremely strong position. My strategy is to break the pin with queen b1. Get my knight somewhere useful with knight e4. Then I can kick that knight. I can also take that annoying bishop. I'm hoping in the meantime that he captures my knight here, so that I can just recapture with b3. B takes c3. Because that'll fix my isolated pawn and make it the hanging pawns. Which would also be weak in this position. But trade one weakness for another. He's made a great move except for one thing. There is a knight that can move here and fork him. But I'm going to follow the old adage. If you see a good move, sit on your hands and look for a better one. Here's my hands. Hey, cut off my forehead. Here's my hands. I'm sitting on them. Okay, guys. Literally sit on your hands. Is there a better move than knight d7? Is there a better move? No. At least I looked. At least I followed the rule. So this is called a fork. There is no spoon in chess, nor is there a knife. But the fork comes up over and over. Thinking, thinking, thinking. There is nothing you can do. You can take my isolated pawn, but that's not enough compensation for the remarkable rook I'm about to capture. Thinks Miss Carol Khan. Am I about to lose? Yes. You are about to lose. As they say in Age of Empires, yes. What a classic game. Those taunts were so good. You could say things like, hey, nice town. I'll take it. Which you can't understand unless you do it over and over and over, so you do. So, let's say you want to start the game already. You just type 14 and press enter. You know what I'm talking about. And then the thing goes, start the game already. Oh, I can't go there. Guess I'll pin that knight. Start the game already. And then you do that over and over. 14, 14, 14, 14. And it makes everybody's computer do that. They all go start the game already. It was epic. Good times. If you don't know what Age of Empires is, you're living under a rock and you need to get out. Get out, which is another taunt. Very good. Actually, that's not a taunt. That would be from Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger says, get out. Very well. He should go down in history as both the governor of California and the sayer of Get Out. Anyway, go learn about Age of Empires. There's still people who play it. Still online, and they play very, very well, because anyone who plays online is serious about what they do, which is why these chess players are so good. So go find some Age of Empires. That is a good game, and it's still good. One of the best. I think all I need to do to win is continue trading. But I should follow my own advice and play rook to the 7th rank. Rook to the 7th rank is my move. Wait, what about queen here with check? Nah, that's not that great. Rook to the 7th. Yes. Yes. Talk and play is not a good idea, says a person a long time ago in the chat. Yes, it is a good idea. I declare it to be true. If talk and play were not a good idea, why would I be doing it? Obviously, it's a good idea. This is a powerful attack indeed. I don't know if there's any way to stop this threatened checkmate. Well, there is, but at least my pieces are active. This is starting to look really good. Yep. Rook takes bishop. Nope, that's not going to do it. How do I win? Rook, queen, rook. My pieces are active. But I don't see a way to finish him off. There probably is a way that I don't see. But since I don't see it, I don't see it. 40 seconds left. I've got an extra rook for a bishop in exchange for a pawn. That's called exchange for a pawn. That's what I've got. And I've got 40 seconds. And I just have to find the win. Dangerous attack. I want to take down here, but I would get checkmated. Maybe I should just do this. I'm doing it. Oh, it's so dangerous, but he's going to get mated too. So he takes me on f2 and I move over. And now there's no more checks. And his king is in such deep, hot water that I think I like this position for me. How will you avoid checkmate now, Miss Caro Khan? Caro Khan. You will not. And I will win. We should just think for another 30 seconds. That's not very much time. It is more than 20, but not for long. I estimate about 5 more seconds, and I will have more time. So you see these threats? Queen a1 check, queen c1 check. These are some strong attacks. I don't really see what black's going to do, except run out of time. Now we're entering the time where it doesn't even matter where you move. Just move fast. It's probably going to take there, yep, to try to stop the mate. And now I've got extra pieces. Resigns, and ChessWiz takes up victory. So I've got 1 draw from the first game and 2 wins. I'm now on a winning streak, looking to jump ahead. So every win is now worth 4 points. That's what it's like when you got the flame next to your name. And I've got the flame name right now. So if I can win this game, I'll jump up to 9, which will be in 3rd place. Now I haven't done anything really wrong except win too slowly, because these guys have won, 5 games already. So I guess I need to be winning a little faster. Other than that, I'm playing perfectly. Perfectly. Wow. Wow, that's very aggressive pawn structure. G3 is not the right move, but I'm so tempted to play it. Because I don't have a lot of space. I don't like not having a lot of space. I'm going to play G3. And capture this way. Just to get a little more space on the king side. I don't want to get under attack here. Very closed positions mean that the attacks come on the side of the board. So when you see locked pawns like this, locked, they can't move, attacks will come on the flanks. And in this space, in this case, whoever has more space in an area is the one who wants to play there. So his pawn chain is pointing this direction. He has a lot of space on king side, so he'd be playing on the king side. I, on the other hand, would be more focused on the queen side, but I don't see a lot of play for me over there. That's why I played G3, to take away some of his space on the king side, so I can also have some semblance of counterplay on the king side. Thinking maybe I want to just boot this bishop. My pawns are a little fragile, but if I castle, then he can move his bishop in the corner here to h3. My rook no longer covers that. I don't think he should trade. The reason he's traded is that his rating is low. If he kept that bishop around, see, that's his good bishop. It's not on the same color of squares as his pawns. So he should keep that bishop around. It could also hit this weak pawn on h3. So bishop back, or even bishop d7 would have been better, I think. So we've got some play now. Is that not going to do anything scary? Yes. My queen's across from that rook. So that means anywhere he moves is a discovered attack, not a good setup It's worth it just to move out of the way to avoid that. I think I'll just protect this pawn. He's going to play knight a6 because that's the only spot for his knight. Now when I play here, his knight is not coming in. Yeah, just dance around a few more times. Got to bring in the rest of my pieces. I'm thinking just double up my rooks here on this line because that's the only open line, and he's doing the same. We're probably going to be facing more trades. Now, as the weaker player, he probably wants to get the trades because he wants to simplify into a position that he can hold more easily against someone who's 2027. So he'll probably move his knight just to get a trade of rooks. Now, it's not a good idea to move it. The only safe square is back to e8, but I think that's what he's considering because he wants the trade. There's no other way to improve his pieces here. He does not. Interesting tactics where I could take that. But I can't quite take it right now. What can I do? Pull my bishop around. Just looking for small improvements here. The pieces are pretty much where they need to be, so I'm looking for any piece that I can get to a better square. And in this case, now my bishop can come out here, which could be better than where it was. Because now it's not blocked in by my pawns. I could move my bishop up to e3 and my queen behind it. That could be useful in barreling down on the king a little bit. So just small improvements here for the pieces. Nothing major. The knight is now pinned. There's not enough defenders to the rook. If the knight moves, I win a rook. So that's another advantage I have. I've got 3 attackers on b5. He only has a knight and pawn, which is 2 defenders, so he cannot play b5 without losing material. However, e4 will fall if I go capture that. So I guess I'll pull my bishop. e4 will not fall. e4 will fall. If I move here, it will. Where should I go then? Whither shall I go? This way? I guess I'll make something happen here on the king's side. e4 will not fall because when the knight moves, I get this f7 pawn. But if I did play queen d2, then it could fall because knight takes e4 and he's attacking my queen, so I don't have time to take that extra rook. So I'm leaving my queen here so that that knight is truly pinned. Meanwhile, g4, g5 opens up some lines here. His king is a little bit more in danger than mine because I have more power in this area of the board. We both have 2 rooks, but my queen is more able to access this area. I have more space because these pawns are more advanced, so I consider that I have the better advantage over here on the king side. My pieces are just a bit better positioned. Oh, he's closing it up. So this completely changes the landscape. Now this is an open spot, good spot for a knight because no pawns could get away there. My knight could get there in 3 moves. So I will prepare this square for my knight. Knight d1, knight e3, and knight f5. He doesn't see it coming. He wants to unpin that. Okay. I'll just move out of the way now. I've prepared another square. I can get over to g4. I like this spot because then my knight can also sink into h5. So I've reconsidered, and now I'm going knight over to g3, and I've got 2 nice squares for it. But of course I'm favoring f5. Still not much is happening. He can't break through on the queen side, so he's just fishing around a little bit. Queen back here prevents the knight from moving further. This knight cannot go to a4. And you're kicked away again. Yeah, not much is happening there. Meanwhile, I'm getting my knight around. So you can see closed positions are very slow. There's no rush to get anything done. You can slowly maneuver your pieces around. Much different than an open position without pawns in the middle, which are very sharp and you cannot afford to waste time. Oh, a sacrifice of a piece. Sacrifice. This quickly changes the landscape again. I guess I'll trade rooks twice. Because once a piece sacrifice is made, he's looking to checkmate me. I simply want to make the game simpler and trade the pieces as quickly as possible. So I'll offer a queen trade here at the expense of a pawn. But pulling the queens off the board allows me to avoid getting checkmated by his queen. So he's given up a piece for 2 pawns. He will pick up the c4 pawn if he trades queens. So he's not doing that badly, but he doesn't want the trade. However, now my knight sinks in here. Nice square that I was planning to take. Oh, he could take e4. Didn't notice that, but queen f3 holds my knight. He's got pretty good compensation for that. He's got 2 pawns, and my pawns are weak enough that he might be able to pick up a 3rd pawn. Oh, dropped a queen. All that analysis is out the window. One bad move and it's game over. GG. So sad that it ends that way, but his position, even though he was down a piece, wasn't resignable. It was pretty nice because those 2 pawns on the king side could come down and cause trouble. Could start to threaten to become queens. Jaron Warner feels the need to say, I'm not using engine. Whoops, I was going to tell him I'm not using engine. Which means nothing. I could be using engine. 1258 is our next opponent's rating, so my win streak continues, 9 points. Chuta Makumba is in the lead, but the fire is gone, which means Chuta Makumba is going to be sitting at 20 for a while. 15, 16, 12, 10, 9, so I'm still a ways behind. My weakness is winning too slowly. Claim victory. Do I actually get points for that? Yes, that's not very fair. Now I'm up to 13. Wow, that was nice. Let's do that again. We're playing the same opponent again, I believe. Fabi. Let's go take a look if this really is the same opponent. How do I get to the tournament view? Right here. Was my last game against Fabi? Where is my last game? Yes, it was. Game 81. So, just playing the same guy twice. This time I'm not going to push, just going to hold the center. In the last game I played d5 and we got a very, very closed position. But I didn't really like how he got that extra space with f4. So this time I'm not going to advance my pawns quite so far. Simple position here. I like my center. Ooh, the cast has slowed down nicely after we've moved into this slower tournament. If you guys don't like slow chess, don't feel bad just signing off. You don't have to watch a slow blitz. Well, blitz and slow don't really go together, but this is technically blitz chess tournament. So if you prefer fast chess, tune in Tuesday. I'm switching it around from what I said 20 minutes ago. We're going to do fast chess Tuesday, slow chess Thursday, and we've got a special guest on Saturday. We've got Matrix on Saturday. So don't miss that. G3 would be a little silly. I'm not going to play G3. So that's what's coming up. So if you don't like slow chess, just sign off. Go do something useful with your Saturday. You know, go soak up some sunshine. But if you like slow chess, that's another matter, because this is where you're going to find it. This is where Bishop G5. Why would I trade my bishop for his? Because it's my bad bishop. Seems reasonable. Want to trade? I'll trade you my baseball card for your bishop. This is fantastic that the stream has not crashed in these 2 hours, or hour and a half. I would have expected it to have crashed by now. As you can see on the clock, we've got another 55 minutes of tournament, so sit back and relax. Open up something else on your second monitor, or study the chess. It's your pick. Boom, I'm attacking your queen. This is a very strange pawn structure for him. He's taking space on the king side. He's taking space on the queen side, but the center is mine. So this position is better for me. The center is the better place to be. I could push, but that would open up weaknesses on the white squares. I could just sit there and let him trade, or I could aggressively trade. I choose to trade because it pulls the queen out in front of this pawn. I think he might want to use his d-pawn to fight back in the center, so by blocking it with his own queen, that delays that plan. You can see my development is quite a bit faster. I've moved out my 2 knights, my bishop, my castling counts as a move, and rook to an open file, or at least a center file. So that's like 4 development moves. Castle, knight, knight, bishop, and rook. That's 5. He's moved 1, 2, 3, and a bunch of pawns. So I'm ahead in development by about 2 moves. So that means I need to blast open the position and attack before this advantage disappears. E5 is a possibility now. I know it opens up those same weaknesses we talked about, but I like this better than when the bishops were on the board. I really like, if he captures, moving my knight up to e5, and then this opens up my queen diagonal to check him on this diagonal. I feel that this g4 pawn could be a weakness for him. too far advanced, exposing his king. There really is no safe spot for his king. He probably wants to castle queenside, where at least he hasn't. What's happening over here? Well, it's across. It's away from my king, so he can push these pawns to attack. Can he do this? I take his queen. He takes my queen. No, I don't think he can do this safely. I take here. I'm attacking his rook and this pawn. Yeah. This is good for me. The rook is going to fall. In order to save the rook, he has to block the attack with queen c6 or queen d5. But then the f6 pawn is beyond weak. And I can just pick that one up. Plus I've got bishop e4, such a strong square for the bishop. If I do it right now, knight could block. Take the knight, take the queen. So I think I'll just do it a little bit later. No rush. Because it's still a powerful skewer, attacking the queen and rook. So there's no rush to get that done. No hurry. Blitz chess is awfully slow in my opinion. Viewership numbers are down a little bit. We were peaking at 30, 32 viewers during intermission, which I got to admit, I would sign in to watch that too. Another free pawn. And now we're down to about 25 viewers simultaneously. It's still a very good number. I'm not going to embarrass myself too seriously. That's a lot of viewers. But it's not as much as we had before. Oops. Oh, it's pretty serious. Oops. I guess I'm getting skewered into a checkmate. Move my queen, and then he takes my g-pawn, and I lose. That's kind of serious. I guess I've got to go this way and lose a piece instead. Lose my bishop. At least I didn't get checkmated. That's what I say. Still a pretty nice position because look at these holes. Holes are where pawns cannot attack. His pawn can never kick my knight out from here. And look how powerful that knight would be. So powerful that I don't even feel bad about the lost material. We each have 2 rooks, but he has 2 knights and I have 1. But I have 2 pawns. So in the last game, he had 2 pawns for a piece. This game, I have 2 pawns for a piece. Do I have an amazing fork of some kind? Check on this side, check on this side? No. So I guess I'll get the check in so that he doesn't castle. Because if he castled queenside, that would stop my counterattacks. And then rook up and over, playing what's called a rook lift, which is a lot of fun. Getting your rook out in front of your pawns like this is called a rook lift. It's not used that often. It's usually in strong attacks. You're attacking the king, and you just bring your rook around to bring a lot of power. Because it's kind of slow, but it's a powerful attack. If you've got some other pieces. Now, I don't have my queen over here, and his king isn't even here. So, in this position, it's not even for an attack. It's just to get my pieces out, because I have so many pawns. I don't like my chances overall. I think one of the best things about this position is his minute and 20 seconds. I have a feeling he's going to start to get real low on time, and that's going to be a problem for him. Knight here maybe for him, because my pawn is pinned. I don't think that leads to anything, so I'll just bring in my other rook. So definitely want to keep an eye on that time, because my winning strategy here is actually to win on time. His position I consider to be a little bit better. I think his position's better. He's got an extra knight for my 2 pawns. However, time's going to get low, and it's going to become, oh look, oh I didn't notice this. Oh, I should have taken that. Could have picked up another pawn. That would have been great. And instead, I guess I'll pre-move that. He's going to trade, win a pawn back. Yep. And then my position's quite poor. Quite bad. Thank you for taking so long. The clock is going to be the end of him. He's got a winning position, but he's playing too slowly. Sorry, Faby, Fabby, Fobby. Sorry. You know they say sorry up in Canada? I'm not up in Canada. But some people are, and they don't say I'm sorry, they say I'm sorry. It's kind of strange. Also, they say other things strangely. For example, fruits and vegetables around here are called produce. You go to the produce section of the grocery store to buy your fruits and vegetables. Well, up in Canada, it's not like that. In Canada, they say produce. Oh, I got the knight back. Thank you, falling into a pin and running out of time. Thank you. They actually say produce, which makes no sense to me. That's not even a word. But things are weird in Canada, eh? Hey, someone's talking to me in the tournament thread, so let's go over there and see that. Chess Whiz, I love chess, but I do not play well enough. Can you teach me something? Well, considering that you are using Engine, anyone who says I'm not using Engine is using Engine, I think maybe you should be teaching a lesson to me about how not to cheat. The only person who says I'm not using a chess engine to choose my moves is someone who's using a chess engine to choose their moves. I mean, it just goes without saying. People don't go walk around saying, I'm not a thief, I'm not a thief, I'm not a thief. Unless they're a thief. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. In my opinion. Now, this was not a good move because the D pawn is backwards now, and it's a free pawn. So I could just take it. Take it, and then b5 to solidify it. It does weaken my center. I consider it to be a bad move on his part. I could be wrong, but this backwards pawn, it just does not look good. And here, is this safe? It's actually safe. And then I just have to castle and hold everything together. Yep, I like my chances here. My center looks a lot different than it did a few moves ago, but having an extra pawn is worth it. Queen c7 looks good. Bishop b7 doesn't look too shabby. I'll go with queen c7. He's got to push his d pawn, but then I can capture en passant. But I think that's what he's going to do. Push his d pawn, because after, oh, no, not yet. After bishop f4, that's what that is, then he's got booting my queen away. That's what he's got. I think I like my extra pawn here. I like this position. He's just kind of messing around, trying to checkmate me or something. But I'm not worried. Not worried a bit. No, this tactic does not work. So he thinks if I could just get rid of this f6 knight, then I've got checkmate down here. But I have a knight that can capture the knight. Oh, yeah, so when I capture here, he has nothing that works. Just double checking everything. Double checking every move. It looks great. Picked up a piece, and we've got another victory. This win streak is unstoppable. Knight recaptures. The checkmate is stopped. 17 points and climbing. We are looking good in this tournament. Capture en passant? Why not? En passant. You don't actually say passant. But people around here get it wrong so much that sometimes I get it wrong just to make them feel better. You're supposed to say passant, because it's French. You just look at the S's and then you just ignore everything else. Easy to speak French. Let's trade queens, now that I've got an extra piece. Just need to get my rooks out, but I wanted my queen to a safer position and not in the center where it could be attacked by his rooks. We have more fan mail. Someone says, "Hi, I love chess. If you are not available, then you can answer." This is the cheater who's messaging me, who says I'm not using Engine. Yeah, I don't know what I think about this. Lamerson in the chat says he was cheating, automatically caught. Tournament leaders are automatically investigated. Oh, you're a tournament leader, huh? Not anymore. Heh. Well, this is kind of a strong attack. If I come back to defend my h7 pawn, I lose my bishop. I could come back here. No good. Queen moves with discovered attack. I could play g6. Guess I've got to play g6. I don't like it. Opening up more weaknesses. This is taking too long to weather this attack. I should be able to simplify it into a winning position a lot more quickly than this, with my extra piece. Slow and steady, though. I still have my dark square bishop, so these weaknesses I've opened up are not too serious. I'm assuming my queen's not trapped. Seems to be a safe assumption. That seems reasonable. I can't wait to play rook e8 and challenge the queen on this line. Simply cannot wait for that. It's going to be so awesome. And we are back to a new peak, 33 viewers at once. Why did people sign in? Because there's a lot of people online right now, 1,300 people. So it's just bound to be someone's going to be closing their eyes and clicking and hitting this button without even looking. So hey guys who clicked this button, You should also click this button over here, because then you can see the chat over here, so you can join in and actually talk to me. I've got the chat open. Don't run out of time, says someone. Not worried. Got plenty of time. They must have said that about a previous game. I'm watching the chat right now as I stream, so if you have an important message for me, you can type in chat. Everyone can see it, including me. So that's a good way to contact me. You can also just send me a private message here on the Lichess messaging. And I've got that off screen too, so that I can make those numbers go away so that it doesn't have a 1 up here, which is terribly distracting. How can you play chess when there's a 1 on the envelope? You cannot. So that's 2 ways to get a hold of me. Looking good in the tournament. 17 is awfully close to 24, but you're losing too slowly, 76 chess. You need to lose more quickly. Still a lot of players in this tournament. Look at that. And all these white flags are people who gave up and left. Jaron Warner is the cheater who got ahead and then got caught. F3 is your choice. Like I said, I can't wait for this move. So I won't wait for it. With F3, he's weakened this diagonal. Bishop C5 check looks pretty nice. Also, bishop d6 attacking h2, and I'm the one attacking. So, you know, I think this g4 f3 was not a good choice for him. g4 attacked my queen, but I just got to another safe square. f3, and now he's got a lot of weaknesses around his king, so I think these weaknesses are actually going to come back and be a problem for him. If I move my bishop, he could trade a queen for 2 rooks. Take, 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 check. I move up. There's no more danger of checks. But what about discovered check? Boom! You're going to resign right now because I'm attacking your queen and your king at the same time with a discovered attack on the queen and a check to the king. Boom! Give up. Give up now. You want to give up. These are not the droids you're looking for. I actually didn't see Star Wars until I was in my 20s. And a friend finally said, "You've never seen Star Wars, you must watch Star Wars." So he basically plopped me down in front of it. I watched it. But I was so new to it when he said, "These are not the droids you're looking for," I did not even realize that was the famous line. Oops, there's my queen. Guess I'll take a bishop. Great. What do I have now? 2. What's the material like? What are we looking at? 2 bishops for a rook. I'm still ahead. No problem. Yeah, still a good position. But I shouldn't have traded my queen for a piece. That was a little rough. Oh, he's in big trouble now. That king is not safe over there. Pin that rook. Yep, I'm still winning even though I just threw away a queen. That's a sign that this is not a quality piece of chess. Guess I'll win the rook for free instead of just trading a bishop for it. Yeah, I don't get it for free, but I'm happy to trade. Extra bishop is good enough. Can't lose. All I can do is win slower, which is also a problem. And I can't tell him to resign because there's no chat box. King coming through, your h4 pawn cannot be defended. Not that I can get to it. Man, am I actually going to have trouble winning this? Push there. I am having trouble winning it. Good thing he's out of time. I actually have to flag him, which means run him out of time. That's code for he runs out of time. Boom. And I've got a message. Is it from that cheater? It might be. Yeah, this is fine. I'm in no trouble at all. My bishop can trade for this pawn if necessary. Meanwhile, my pawns over here become queens. 2 queens ought to be enough to checkmate anyone. Famous quote from Bill Gates, he said, 640K of memory ought to be enough for anyone. No, he didn't. That's a famous misquote. Actually, we're in the next game against Berezkin, and this is a strong player. So this is our first serious match. Berezkin just joined the tournament. He's only got 8 points. So it's kind of bad luck that I'm the one playing him, but that's the way tournaments go. Pretty randomized. Knight f3 is the next move. I know this opening well. Well, I know it. What was I saying? Bill Gates did not say 640k ought to be enough for anyone. He's misquoted as saying that. He actually says, I didn't say that, if you ask him. Not that I've had a personal conversation with Bill Gates. I just read that he said that. d4? Is d4 the move? I am out of my opening and I just started. d4 is fine. Boom, boom, and we transpose into some kind of Sicilian. And castles, where I don't have my white squared bishop. So it is that cheater harassing me. So we're going to go, I'm actually going to tell him the stream link. ustream.tv/channel/chesswiz. And then when he clicks that, he's going to learn that I do speak English. He actually said, if you answer, I'm glad because you don't know English. Contradiction in terms. It's a little bit like when he said, I am not using computer assistance. Another untruth. If I take with queen, it might be hard for him to get that queen out of there. It's kind of a good spot for my queen. Now, after he plays queen c7, he could bishop here. Guess I'll take the knight. I have the unfortunate bad luck of needing to use the restroom. So after I destroy Berezkin, I'm going to go do that. Walking into a pawn fork here, but the pawn is not protected. So he can't fork me just yet. I'm really eyeing d6. Oh, he protects it. And now he's threatening the fork. I'm getting out of here. Queen d2. Transposing into something we're both a little more comfortable with. I've got some pressure on d6. That pawn down there is going to have 3 attackers on it and only 2 things defending it. So I'm liking my position so far. There's a nice target there. If he pushes it, things change quickly, but his king is still in the center, so it is not safe to push. h5 is strangely common in some of these lines. Oh, he's going to trap my bishop! Oh, what a clever player. What if I sacrifice my bishop now? Is that any good? That's something that King's Crusher would say. Is that any good? Is that any good? He says it for a reason. It makes you a good chess player. I don't like how my bishop is about to get trapped with h4. But I don't see a way to rescue it. So I'll throw it away now. He blocks with queen. I didn't even have another move planned. I do not like this position, but he's not castled. That's my one chance against him here. Is I've got rooks barreling down on his open king, so I just have to make the right moves at the right times, and maybe I can do something with that. A message from the cheater, as you saw that little one up there. He says, I'm watching you, but I don't speak English, so I don't know what you're saying. That's tough beans. I'm sorry, I don't speak any languages other than English, unless you count C++, Java, C, C#, Visual Basic, JavaScript, CSS, or Microsoft SQL, or T-SQL, that's the same thing, or Oracle SQL, or MySQL, or PostgreSQL. There's a lot of flavors of that. Or a lot of other languages. I even speak Google Go, which is a language that no one's heard of. But when it comes to spoken languages, it's going to be English, so sorry about that. I could trade and give him an isolated pawn, but I need attacks. I need activity because I'm down a piece. He's got 2 bishops for a knight. So I'm going on the offense. See what I can do. Knight c7 is so scary. But if he takes my queen and I recapture, it's discovered check. He protects there. Do I have any strong attack? I don't see any strong attack, but I need one, so there must be one. Come on, strong attack. Be there for me. Looking for strong attack. Searching. Knight b6 doesn't seem to do much after rook c7. Queen g5 avoids the trade, but not much more than that. I guess queen g5, because I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade queens because it's king in the center and I need attacks. 2 bishops against a knight is not good. So now knight b6, the rook can't move up, or queen d8 checkmate. So maybe I have something here. The rook has to move to the side. But I don't have much. After the rook moves to b8, once again I have nothing. So, attacks, they are not coming. After this, we're going to go to restroom break. So buckle your seatbelts, people. Nothing will happen, but I'll go as quick as I can, literally. And then we'll be back. He's not worried about knight b6. Oh, he's thinking about this. So if I take... I've got this pawn now. Very fun to take there. Should I trade my knight for it first? No, I'm just going for it. Okay, so I now have 3 pawns for it, right? He has 4 pawns and I have 7. So I've got 3 pawns for my piece. I could take a bishop, which solves the 2 bishops problem. And then if I can hang on to all my pawns, 3 pawns for a piece is not too bad. So maybe we'll just play a little bit more slowly. There's no rush. With 2 pawns for the piece, it was imperative that I make something happen with the attack. That's why I did not trade queens, because I'm basically behind significantly. 3 pawns for the piece is not quite so bad, not nearly so bad. I can comfortably play 3 pawns for the piece. Take that bishop. Trade, 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 trade. I don't really like that ending. Knight here. Uh-oh. I guess since I'm running low on time, I'll take this ending. We'll see what I can do with 3 pawns for the piece. 3 pawns for a bishop. What kind of ending will this be? He's happy to trade. Don't want to make nothing moves here. I need to make useful moves. I'm putting my pawns on black squares because his white square bishop will not be able to attack them. I don't think this is a very good ending for me. "25 seconds. Oh, what a brilliant move. Not a lot of commentary, but the chess is improved. Take a look at that. Oops. Oh, I should have thrown that away. I got his last pawn, so I can't lose now. But I gave away the win. I could have won. I had 3 pawns for it. Maybe I can still win with 12 seconds. He doesn't have mating material. Pre-moves all the time. Coming around for you. No good. It's a draw. Okay, I drew against a 22-25. Excellent result. I will be right back. It's bathroom break. Don't go anywhere. that sound. And we are back in business. After doing the business. Back to tournament. 4th place? How could I be in 4th? I just drew a game. Well, Mogu has a lot of wins in a row, 36 points. Everyone else is kind of hanging back. We can see our other 2 players also lost their win streaks. If I only had won that game. Oh. C4 is my move. So I had 3 pawns for that bishop, and there at the end of the game, instead of playing b7 and throwing my pawn away, I could have won, in my opinion. We'll have to go back and look at that if we have time. I wasn't looking at the camera, so let's say that again. b7 was a bad move, in my opinion. Okay, and if I kept that pawn, could have beat that 2200, could have won that game, could have maintained my streak, I would have 24 points and a win streak. I would be sitting well to overtake the tournament leader if he lost any games. Disappointing. Tournaments go like that sometimes. Same thing with over-the-board tournaments. Sometimes you play a great game against a strong opponent, you get a draw, and then it's like, wow, that was horrible because I needed to win. And that's what happened there. I needed to win. So, knight in. I don't want to trade bishop for knight, no matter how lovely bishops and knights may seem to you. You don't want to lose a bishop for knight in the opening, usually. So I'm not going to let him take that. I'm going to kick that knight away. Psst. Question from No Time Wasters. He messages me and says, fascinated watching you play. Thank you very much. You're not the only fascinated person. I fascinate myself as well. Have you any advice on openings? Yes. Don't trade your bishops for knights. More seriously, though, advice on openings is use all your pieces. That's obvious. Let's take a look at the strength of No Time Wasters, because that depends on, my advice depends on his strength. So his rating here is 1545. Should I castle queenside? So that's strong. 1545 is a good rating, but there's still a lot to learn, because there's a big distance and difference between 1545 and 2800, which is kind of the top of the chart there. I want to make something happen in the center before this attack comes down on the side of the board. That's why I'm considering e5 or d5. Also, g4 is a possibility. I lose a pawn, but with his king in the center, I'm doing that. With his king in the center, he's not going to want to open lines up. So look at this rook now. Is he going to play rook f1? Is he going to castle? It's dangerous. He trades, but this is taking a free pawn is very dangerous here, because his king is in the center. Rook h8 check. Oh, he's doing it. Slaying it. Check. So is it as dangerous as I say, or am I all hot air? Let's see what I can do. Now I've got some counterplay. So I'm happy to open up the board over here, because a5 and an attack on my king over here was looking pretty scary. So advice for openings. First of all, move each of your pieces once. In general, you don't want to move a knight or a bishop twice, because you want to use your whole army. So if you're thinking, I brought my knight out, now I can go with a great attack with my knight again, don't do it. Bring out another piece first. You want to bring out all your pieces. Another thing is, be sure to castle. Castling is an important part of any opening. Castling kingside is the norm, because you don't have to get your queen out of the way to do it. So most people castle kingside, and I advise that in most openings. Also, don't bring your queen out early. That's obvious, but the reason is your queen doesn't want to trade for any piece. You don't want to trade your queen for a bishop or your queen for a knight. So when you get your queen out there, any attack on the queen, and the queen has to run. Look at this check. Isn't this awesome? Oh, you're in check and you can't move. So anything can attack the queen, and she has to run away from that attack. Queen a4. Is this good? Piling up more pressure. He takes my bishop. I recapture. Check again. Queen can come up. Nope. I don't want that queen to come up. So this way is the way. Oh, taking with the bishop would have been better. Way, way, way better. Would have won his queen that way. Next game, if I'm in this position again, I'm taking with the bishop. This is pretty nice too, though. Look, attacking his queen. When he moves it, c7 with basically checkmate. So that's going to be pretty cool. Basically checkmate. So the queen gets booted around by any piece. Anything attacks her, she does not want to trade, she has to move. So you spend a lot of time moving your queen, which breaks rule number 1, move each piece once. Moving your queen a couple of times, goodbye queen. And you're falling behind in development. Because opening is kind of like a race, bringing all your pieces out as quickly as possible. Sounds strange to call it a race, but that's kind of what it is. Also control the center, everybody knows that. Pieces in the center of the board are the most powerful, and pieces on the edge are the most lame. A knight in the corner only attacks 2 squares, f2 and g3 in this example, and that's not a very powerful knight. Whereas a knight in the center attacks 8 squares. Very much better. You do the math, it's 4 times better. I'll do the math. It's 4 times better. So controlling the center is obvious. So we've got controlling the center, we've got move each piece once, we've got to bring the queen out. Where do the rooks go? A lot of people have trouble with that. On the open lines, and by that I mean pawns, look for the lines with no pawns on them. Also, there might be no pawns. No pawns, and by that I mean no lines with no pawns. All the lines have pawns is what I'm trying to say. So just go to the center lines, the E file and D file, or maybe C or F if that looks like it's going to be opening up. And because just moving your rook to the center where it's going to be opening up in the future is a useful move. It's much better than having your rook still on F1 if you've castled, or still on A1. Better to bring your rooks out. Starting the next game against J3000. Wow, in the year 3000 we're all going to have flying cars. And you know who's going to bring them to us? Elon Musk himself. Don't play Queen H4. Thank you. Awesome. We're copying each other. It's a perfect French defense. So rooks to the center. Oh, he's copying me 100%. I guess I'll copy him. Trade. Should I trade? That makes it completely symmetrical, so I won't. Now I have to trade. So what else about the opening? Well, obviously most people start with a pawn move. And they move a center pawn up forward. It has a couple of purposes. Obviously attacking the center, which is one of your goals. Also, I'm using this rook. It allows a bishop to come out. You want both your bishops to come out. Here are some more subtle things about bishops. Don't put them in front of your pawns. So like bishop d3 or e3 here as white are not good moves typically if your pawn hasn't advanced, because it blocks things in. Also, next to pawns, like if I've got a pawn here, a bishop here, it's not best. Bishops don't work best right next to pawns like that. Instead, you would prefer... yeah, right there. Instead, you would prefer to be a little bit beyond, like here, b5, making some kind of pin, perhaps. It just ends up being a little bit more useful than side by side with a pawn. Getting 2 pawns side by side is a great way to start off your opening, if you can do it. In some openings, black will allow that, and I highly advise just taking it, just seizing that opportunity. Other things about the opening? Well, after you have all your pieces out, then you can start planning what you actually want to do. Don't make your really, really clever move until the opening is complete, until you have all your pieces out. Let's trade some more, going toward a very drawish endgame here. Is that all my advice on openings? Is that all? Don't develop your king. Save that for later in the game. In the endgame, you want to use your king, you must, which is right now. That's why I'm bringing my king out. As soon as it seems safe to bring him out, you should be bringing him out. Before that, you should not be bringing him out. That goes without saying. I'm laughing at my own joke because that's such silly advice. Which knight should I pull back? This one. I see some good spots down in here. What about g4, preventing that king from advancing? That's kind of cool. Kind of horrible, but no one's around here to criticize me because I'm in an empty room. Here, let me show you. See anyone over there? No one there. Anyone over there? Nope. Hey, that was a great move, right guys? Ha, no one can hear me. So, check. And then maybe g5 check. And suddenly I have the better knights and the more space. And the weaker pawns, but that comes with the territory. He's planning on opening up that side of the board. h4 maybe? I'm going to need that eventually. Yeah, I guess I'll play it now. Still very drawish. Nothing's going to happen in this position unless someone makes a mistake. But now I've got an opportunity to come in the middle even more with my knights. My knights are doing a bit better than his. Okay, is there a tactic? Check, 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 check. I can infinity check him. That's cool. But it's not a victory. I guess I'll start with checking once. Infinity check. That's only a tie game. Then king here. Yes. And when he trades, my king comes further advanced. My king is becoming more and more active. Maybe I can make something happen with that. My knight's kind of getting in the boonies. I played an endgame a couple of days ago in an over-the-board game where the knight just kept getting trapped. It was a position a lot like this in an exchange French, and if you get your knight in too far, it may not be coming back. And that could happen to me. Check here, he goes there, here, and then king over again, and I'm trapped. See how easy that is? So how do I avoid getting trapped? I guess back here is the way. You have to be careful. Someone would quickly play knight d8, and then things would get worse from there. Careful with your knights. I think that's all my advice about the opening. No Time Wasters asks, any advice on openings? That's my advice. Let me just rack my brain about if I've got any other advice. Oh yeah, play strong opponents. That's the way to improve. Don't play people you can beat, because then you beat them, but you beat them with bad play. And it's better to lose to a good player than beat a bad player. That's not actually opening advice, but hey, part of the opening is who you're playing. I've never played an opening without playing someone. And the endgame continues. I guess I will trade. This is kind of turned against me now. My king is not advanced. His knight is looking pretty good. I did not make something happen with the extra space. I think I'll offer a draw. And a draw. Good. He accepts a draw. It's probably a draw with perfect play even so, but I'm starting to get pushed behind. Oh, I'm playing Berezkin again. Let's see what I can do to him. He's not playing the Sicilian, so he's mixing it up this tournament. So another strong opponent. I'm following my own advice, which is play strong opponents. By accident entirely, but I'm still following my own advice here. So that's good. Except I don't want to play strong opponents on stream. Everyone's going to see me lose to them. Plus, I'm in a tournament. I have to win in order to keep up with these guys. Mogu did lose his streak, but JMC started one. So it's tough to win tournaments when you get paired against the leader over and over. Tough, tough, tough. Lamerson says, you need to move fast time. He is... Oh, he's talking about this time. You're right. You're right. I'm not used to these tournaments where you just have to play as many games as you can. I don't want to play d5. It weakens my center. All these black squares aren't guarded by a pawn anymore. But if I don't, how do I keep my d4 pawn? He's got two attackers on it. I guess this way. Yeah, that keeps it. Now I've got two defenders. No, that doesn't work. I guess I could resign right now. That would get me into the next game. This is poor. In fact, maybe I should resign, because that was a horrible loss of my center. With best play, White will lose this game without a doubt. I'll resign right now. Give Berezkin a chance to pull ahead. Very generous of me, right? He's already down here with 18 points against my 26. So I'd rather play JMC Dash, because he's the tournament leader. Take him down. Well, with 13 minutes, not much is going to happen. So watch this, Thibaut. Watch me win. Ready? He's not at his computer. I'm about to claim a win. I get free points. He gets nothing. Oh, Lamerson in chat says he was talking about the previous game. That sounds more reasonable. Another message in the mailbox. The subject is stream less than 3. Aw, thank you. Fun stream, says Mr. Marr, or Miss Marr. It's Michelle. Probably not a real name, because there aren't really females on chess websites. Fun stream, what's your actual ELO rating? Depends who you ask. On Le Chess, my actual ELO rating is 2027. I'm getting free wins here. This is not really fair. People are joining and leaving, and it's giving me points. So we might need to do something about that. I've jumped up to 30 and I have a streak, even though my last actual chess game was a draw. And I have a winning streak now. So tournaments are not fair is the conclusion, because anyone could have that happen to them at the right moment and jump ahead. Not okay, not cool. Playing 76 chess here, and we're playing chess. He's breaking the opening advice. Hey, no time wasters. You see this? Bishop blocked by pawn, or blocking pawn, which is blocking bishop. This is bad because this pawn can't come out and fight in the center, and now this bishop doesn't have a way out. Instead, he should move this bishop. Even here is better. This gets attacked by the pawn. This is no good because with c6 it gets pushed again. So bishop e2 is the right move. Anything off the back rank, this is an important opening concept. Anything off the back rank counts as developing. So even just up one square, that's good enough, it's developed. When you need to bring your queen out, moving your queen one space, that counts as development. And the reason is, your rooks are connected. Your rooks are now defending each other and they can slide to any line that they need to. That's the reason that one square is good enough for any piece. People move their knights in front of everything like this, knight d7, and here knight bd7, because you got to say which knight. That's developing. That's developing the knight. It's off the back rank. So you don't have to move things real far. You just have to get them off the back. And so White was a little overzealous with d3. And now we see the repercussions of that. This bishop is not coming out, so he's not capturing this pawn, which is pinned by the queen. So all those cool things won't be happening. Poor guy. Poor man. Oh. That's a little deadly. Didn't consider that move. I'm okay because my knight's covering it, but how long am I going to be okay for? Well, bishop g4 and then bishop h5 pushes it away. And is there any reason not to? That might be the best way to handle this, because my knight is protecting and there's no immediate problem. This is a weird move. The bishop is kind of just floating out here on the king side, not attacking anything. Barely defended, but hey, it's getting the job done. It's getting that queen out of there. So, it's alright. My development is almost complete. As you saw in the opening, our opponent sacrificed a knight on f7 to weaken my king. And that has not come to fruition. We're not seeing a strong attack here, so it was not a good sacrifice. I'm thinking queen d7, just to offer a queen trade, because we know he doesn't want to trade queens now that he's sacrificed a piece. And that's going to make him move his queen again. His development's not done. This bishop, as we've discussed, totally horrible. And this rook is stopped in because of it. So he needs to get his development done. Yeah, let's trade queens. And these things, these objects, these items are preventing him from doing that. Fun stream, what's your actual ELO rating? Well, over here it's 2027. I'm in the United States, and here in the United States we have something called USCF rating, which is what you get if you pay a whole lot of money every year, then you can have a USCF rating. They charge too much. And in fact, they charge so much that my current USCF membership is expired, which means I can't play any more rated games until I pay them more money. If that sounds fair to you, you should start your own United States Chess Federation, and you can charge a little less, I'll join yours. And the USCF rating, my rating is about, actually I'm not going to say, and you can't look it up because my name isn't actually ChessWiz, that's my code name. So, I'm completely anonymous. It's not actually true. If you work hard enough, you can find me. But who works hard on the internet? Nobody. So, I'm safe. So you don't get to know my rating. Too bad. I actually told you my rating in previous streams, so you gotta go watch them all, Pokemon style, if you want to find out my rating. These knights are so powerful. Everything is so powerful. I love my position. Knight here, followed by knight d3. Oh, that is so awesome. Yes, I'm doing it. Knight d3 has a double whammy. Not only is this bishop doomed to be nothing for the rest of the game, but it cuts off communication between this bishop and this knight, which allows me to just pick up the knight for free. Oh, a pawn fork. Hmm. Hmm. How do I get out of this pawn fork? If I take the pawn, he recaptures with knight and I have nothing. So it's going to be one of these knights to d3. That's the plan, Stan. It's going to be this knight, strangely enough. Leaves me in the pawn fork. I'm still in the pawn fork. But now the question is put to the knight f5. So I can pick it up for free. And when it moves, I can pick up the d4 pawn. So I think I was okay in any line. So I still have the 3 pieces against his 2 and 5 pawns to his 6. So I'm still up ahead a piece for a pawn. Looking good in this game. Message from No Time Wasters says, oops, I clicked the wrong one. Message from No Time Wasters says, you're being watched and admired during the Cup final here in the United Kingdom. Cup. What kind of cup could that be? I'm thinking it's soccer, which is known to the rest of the world as football. But it could be any sport, really. I think I need to get out of this pin before things get a lot worse for that knight. So I'll just go, I'll go here. Nope, I'll get pinned over there too. Look at that deadly pin. So I'll just come all the way home, safe, slow and safe. I'm just playing the safe moves because I've got an extra piece. I'm thinking that's, well, I could be baseball, except they don't really play that in the United Kingdom. They play cricket instead, I think, which is like baseball on steroids. Super dangerous game. Don't want to get hit in the head with a cricket bat, that's for sure. Of course, a baseball bat's not that much better. What other cup could it be? That's probably it. It's probably a soccer cup, aka football. That's probably what kind of cup it is. Hello to all you watching from the Cup final in the United Kingdom. Hello, time travelers, because it's morning for me and afternoon for you. Hoping to catch some bishops here with my knights. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to try. And a check. Should I offer a trade or should I just move out of the way? I would love to trade pieces with you. Let's just offer a trade. Now he has the question put to more pieces. Both his bishops are under attack. I want trades. I had a piece for a pawn, you trade. That is like rule number 1 of chess. I mean, imagine a sports game. What should I take? Everything. Maybe start with this. Yeah. No, maybe start with this. Yeah, start with that. Someone says trapped rook. I think it's delayed. Oh, it is delayed! Haha! Because you're watching a previous a rendition of this chess game. I mean, time is traveling. For example, here. See the chat? You can see the chat, right? Hello from the future! Okay, you can see that on that screen, but it is not in the stream yet. Wait. We should move faster, says Lamerson. You're right, 20 seconds left. You are saying that just in time. So if you don't have chat open, you won't notice the time travel. But there is time traveling going on because the stream has a delay in it. There, I can finally see the chat coming on my own rendition of the stream. So I have 20 seconds to win. That's plenty of time still. But I should move faster. Thank you, Lamerson. You're just in time to save me. 17 seconds now. Must move very quickly. We require rapid moves. Oops, I got my knight forked off. And the position is no longer winning. And I have 13 seconds. Oh, the time is the death of me. This extra pawn might save me. Eight seconds now. Pre-moves. A few pre-moves will help. Oops, there goes my rook. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, 76 chess, you need to run out of time now. You have 14 seconds. You have 12 seconds. You have 7 seconds. You have 2 seconds. Oh, you are out of time. That's too bad. Oh, it's a good thing. I threw away enough pieces. You're out of time. I win. Wow. Time is important in chess. We have learned that. New fan mail. It is from No Time Westers. He says it is the cup. Of course, the only worldwide sport, soccer. In quotes, right? This is what he says. He says it's soccer. He's being nice to me because I call it soccer, but everybody who's actually somebody calls it football. And Hull is leading Arsenal 2-1. Hull sounds like a great name for a chess team. Like a hole for a bishop. Probably Hull. That's the way they say things over there. Against Arsenal. Now Arsenal, I actually know someone who's a big fan of Arsenal. He's probably watching this right now and saying, oh yeah, I'm so glad Arsenal's winning. I have no knowledge of Arsenal. It just sounds like a bunch of weapons to me. And the tournament has 1 minute and 45 remaining. The chess game, however, has a lot more. So I'll throw away a pawn. Oh, I shouldn't lose, though, because it's not going to be aborted. They changed the rules now. At the end of the tournament, the game is not aborted. Instead, it's played to the end. And it's still rated. I don't want to lose to Troika 1541, so I need to play rapidly and well. Because I'm not going to get this win in the tournament. If I can get the win, then I can move ahead of Mikadona 50. I just have to play very fast and very well in order to get this win. It's not going to happen, of course. This game is not going to end quickly enough. But it's worth a shot. No, that's not going to happen. Bishop c2 is your move. Bishop c2, go on, play it. I don't have time for this. Oh, he did do that. Oh, he's thrown away a piece. Thrown it away. Thank you for the piece. Now I can win, but I cannot win in 40 seconds unless you move now. Move now or forever. Hold your pieces. Boom. Now we trade queens. You can't escape and we trade queens. Gotta move fast. 27 seconds left in the tournament, guys. Ah. Come on, 20 seconds. Ah, come on. I gotta move ahead of Mikadona 50. Boom. Is he going to take with a rook? No. He doesn't want to trade because he doesn't want it simple. He wants me to fail. Okay, I'm going to come down here and checkmate him in 7, 6, 5. You've got to move, Troika! I'll still move here. Disappointing. Tournament time is out, and we ended up tied with Mikadona 50. Mikadona. Now there's no rush. I can just come up with the very most awesome move on the board. Like, that. Knight to the rim. There's a saying about knights. A knight to the rim is awesome. Just kidding. Rim is the edge of the board, and a knight to the rim is dim. So don't move your knights there, because they just don't do as much on the side. They should be in the center. I'll trade now, before that power gets too powerful. Then I'll get another trade. Then I'll take more pawns. So I win, but I don't win before the tournament is over. Disappoint. I guess I'll finish the stream. Finish the game, though. And then we're going to go. The stream will be ending. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been ChessWiz TV. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. GMT. You'll have to do some math if that's not your local time zone. This week is going to be something special. Next time on Tuesday, we're going to play speedy chess. It's going to be 1 second chess. Very, very fast. Thursday, we're going to go into some more analysis. So it's going to be slower games, and we're going to use computer analysis to analyze what we did wrong, what we could have done better. So looking at improving the chess. On Saturday, never before happened, we're going to have a guest on Saturday's episode, Matrix himself, who is rated almost 2,600 on this website. He's going to be joining us as a special guest. That's 1 week from today on ChessWhiz TV, so you don't want to miss that. And that's what's happening this week. As soon as I win this chess game, we're out of here. Push your pawn. It's a great move, and I will capture it. I'll go take this pawn then. Push that pawn. I'll capture it. Very good, very good. Who's going to get a queen first? He's never going to get a queen, so that would be me. Bonk. I didn't even see what that was. If he promoted to a bishop, that would have been an awesome, short-lived bishop. And he resigns. He should have resigned long ago. Oh, and look at that tournament result. More people got ahead. How did that happen? It's not auto-updating, Thibaut. Look. See? It said 34, and now over here it's not like that at all. I got 5th place. If I had won that game, I'd be up here with Mackinac 50. 5th place. Well, everyone's so close together, too. You know what? If we had just won this draw right in here against, who was that we played? Somewhere in here. It was Berezkin. That draw right there, if we had won that game with the 3 pawns against the bishop, I think that we would have done a lot better. What if that's what would have happened? This has been ChessWhiz TV. I leave you with this message. You only have one head. Be careful. Thanks for watching.